Yo. It's Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Welcome. It is he. This is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. It's Righteous Reg. What's going on, bro?
It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. It's Grapsody Podcast, a trillion times better than all the other podcasts, is what they say. It's Media Man. We're here. It's Saturday morning. What's good with you, Phil?
All right. Very tired.
Yeah.
It's life.
I feel you. I hear you. I see you. Same. Every day is everyday struggle, like that one-time show used to be. Shout out to everybody joining us here today on this beautiful Saturday morning. It's an impactful, high wrestling weekend this weekend, so I'm sure we're gonna have some good times.
Yeah. Straight away, I was laughing because I saw somebody post a list of things they thought we were going to talk about, and I was like, yeah, probably won't hit half of those things.
I didn't see this list, but I'm sure it was hilarious. There was a lot of shenanigans and foolishness going on this week, so I'm sure people want us to get into those things. I'm good on the shenanigans and foolishness, Phil. How about you?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
We want to just stay out of that. Stay away from it.
Yeah. I have not heard this new Metro Boomin album, Redman. But
yeah.
I haven't heard it.
A lot of people have been pretty excited about it. They're like liking it to the Tyler record, as it's very like dancey and makes you want to get up and move. Have not listened to it. There's been so much music constantly coming out every single day at this point, and it's hard to keep up.
Yeah. The other thing, Drake fans are being Drake fans online. They're trying to get Anthony Fantano out of here for some edited clip and some weird shit. And the craziest thing about the whole thing is waking up and seeing Alchemist saying, "Are y'all surprised about Needle Drop?" And I'm like, well, why is Alchemist getting in on this and jumping on dude? It's weird. The whole thing is weird.
I don't understand why Alchemist got in and got his off there, but
and tagged Fantano. Yeah. I was like, that was weird. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the clips that they're circulating, I was like, this is clearly edited, and then the other one is clearly out of context. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to, shoot the guy bail and defend him, but it's pretty obvious that people are just trying to come up with anything to get him out of here.
I was wondering where this came from. Was the thing like, why out of nowhere is this happening now? Did he do a review recently to piss people off?
No, I know people were mad. He gave the Clips album a 10.
No.
And then I saw people were upset that he was saying things again about Drake's allegations, and I'm just like, guy's a music reviewer. Like, what do you? I don't know. People are weird. Internet.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, where do you want him to go at some of these points? And like, it's his opinion, but people act like he's the worst guy in the world. It's crazy.
Yeah, very weird stuff. I can't imagine. Oh, this artist I don't like doesn't like this person, so I'm gonna now go on the internet and try to dig up things about him to make him look bad. And then academics was in the mix. It was nasty. The whole thing was nasty.
Everybody going back to find tweets from 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and all those things. Get a life,
Please get a life. I don't. Sad times we live in sometimes, Phil.
Yeah, this was finally my cue. I've seen this Academics TV account pop up on my feed a few times. I was like, yeah, I got to get this out of here. Let's mute this thing once and for all.
Oh, gross. I didn't. He was talking about it recently, or something happened because people were. Oh, he said someone wanted to know who was behind the account, a big rapper, maybe Hove or somebody. And I was like, oh yeah, that account stinks. Like it's like how awful he is, but like times 10 because they're being awful in other avenues too. So hate it.
The worst accounts on Twitter.
The 75% bots Twitter. We gotta get out of there. We gotta mass exodus out of there because we're just all day every day fighting against bots, Phil.
I don't respond to a lot of people anymore.
Yeah. It's been some times for me too, but sometimes I'll get caught up and I'm like, oh yeah, fuck you. But like now I know like it's really a waste of time. It's the biggest waste of time in the world fighting on Twitter.
Yeah, sorry. It's either bots or these are people that you're not going to change anything, but just like feed people's egos on there. They just want you to respond and just keep going. It's just a bunch of nonsense. It's dumb.
What a life. Can't we all just get along, as they used to say? Are we past that point?
I think we could if people would just stop being so fucking weird, but people are weird.
So no. There's so many weirdos out there. It's I think sometimes bots are in real life too, because I see people and I'm like, there's no way that's a real human. Sometimes when I'm driving.
Yeah, this guy started talking to me because people try to start making small talk. As this guy started talking to me the other day on a train, and I was just like, whatever. He just was saying a lot of the internet conspiracy stuff, and I was just like looking straight forward, like leave me alone.
Yeah, when those people exist in real life, it's like, oh yeah, these people exist in real life. Like 4chan users are real, and it's like, this is why society looks how it looks and how it is. It's great.
But yeah,
it's perfect.
Send us your super chats. That's the best way to get your chat read on this very podcast. You can also send us Humper Chats at humperchats.com/Fightful.
Yes, of course, the best way to support your boys is through Humper Chats. That gives us a little bit more. We always appreciate your support sending those in. Let's get into a few of them before we move forward. The homie JM starts out with a very, very, very generous super chat. Appreciate you so much, JM, who says, I think there's a short-term path for the Young Bucks to turn face in general, and a path for Takeshita to turn face versus Okada with Callis. With that in mind, do you think there's a logical story to tell to align the Bucks with Takeshita again as faces?
I don't know. I do think that the Bucks are eventually going to turn. You can see the seeds being planted. Boy, they came out Wednesday, and the opposite of them coming out right after Grand Slam. Sorry, not Grand Slam. All In. Sorry, All In Texas, and they were getting cheered because the stuff they were doing was funny. The match was great. No, this match Wednesday, they were getting booed, brother.
They the tide is slowly turning already, JM. I think that a lot of what they're doing is already babyface stuff, even if they're still playing heels. Like all of this is playing into what I was saying, like the best things about the Young Bucks is like when their backs are against the wall, when the fans are kind of teasing them and making them look silly. But that's when you get the best of these guys, because when they mix in like, stop making fun of us, we're showing you why you shouldn't make fun of us. That's when like they're at their best, and they've been doing that work here recently. But then also, like you said, Phil, they could turn it up like this week and still be those monster heels that get the babyface tag team to where they need to be.
Yeah. I don't know if this is really canon, but supposedly the reason why Tony Khan has been doing all of these money matches where he gives out money in these big matches is he's taking the money from their salary.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know if that's real or whatever. I also saw that, but I thought it was amazing. I'm like, oh yeah, that's great if that's what this is, because there's been so many of those matches, those money matches.
Yeah, I think that's a great explanation for him if that's true.
Sometimes people be doing too much, but then sometimes people be doing too much, and it's a fun game. It's a nice addition. Jay also came back immediately with another very super generous super chat, and appreciate that, Jay. And he says it's the second half of that. Their trio team from Dynamite 300 is still in the back of my mind, and I think they fit / work very well together, even with Takeshita as the big brother / equalizer when they're overmatched. How do you think they could get back with Takeshita? Because I feel like a Takeshita face turn is coming here.
I'm not sure, because you got to contend with what this means for Kenny Omega when he comes back. I don't know. I am like waiting to see what does a Takeshita face turn look like for AEW.
Yeah, because there's glimpses of it throughout his run and what he does, especially in his matches. You can see like, oh, this guy's going to be a monster baby face when the time comes. I just think it's getting closer with how he's been moving out there recently. But yeah, the Kenny Omega is still always looming over the Young Bucks, especially if they're baby faces. It's like they're gonna be in some kind of spaces and areas together after it all plays out. I appreciate that, Jay. Thank you so much for starting the day like that. He follows up with one more and says, sorry for the random 2-part Ask Grapsody. You can call it $50 booking. Love your show, Jay. Amazing. Thank you so much for starting our day like that. That's a great way to do this. And anytime, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you.
And then the homie Van Twinblaze says, donating plasma today to get money for the week. Hunter needs to retire.
He won't. This guy's very bad at this PR stuff. The media stuff, he's very bad at it. I mean, we've talked about this before, but his response to that question about the allegations against Vince, and he's like, yeah, nobody's perfect at the end. I was like, why you say that?
He's like, this is separate from us. I'm like, I don't really think.
A day after, he's just like standing up there grinning next to the president. Yeah. I didn't watch all of SmackDown, but apparently they aired that clip during SmackDown of him up there with the president. Yep.
But he said earlier in the day, this isn't political for me. I'm just chilling. Like, I'm just.
Undertaker also famously said, everybody knows WWE is apolitical. Yeah. Total apolitical move to be
a political wrestling company at this point.
Yeah, totally apolitical move to be next to the president.
They showed that, Phil?
They showed it on TV.
Oh my. We're dead. We're doomed. We're out of here. But it's funny because now WWE Unreal coming out this week. I'm like, oh, I see exactly. Like, he knew all the points to run this week. He's like, I'm gonna drop this, get him on my side to start the week, and then I'm gonna go ham to get us into SummerSlam.
Yeah, the WWE Unreal clips were all over the timeline this week. I did not watch it. I have no real interest in watching it, to be honest. But it's for somebody. Well, I was about to say it's for somebody. I see what they're doing. I get it. I before was like, well, how much do you want to pull the curtain back? But now that I've seen these clips out there, and now that I see what the clips are doing, I know exactly what this is for. You're trying to bring in casual fans already, because that's what a lot of this Netflix move has been. Hey, wrestling fans, these people are already tapped in. How do we get these people that are not going to take this seriously? How do we get to the people that already think this is fake? By just leaning in and saying, look, it's not fake, it's not real. Like, look, it's a TV show. Here's a reality show around the show. And then also they're doing the information game, like a lot of other entities in the world right now, where it's like, look, get your information from us. Don't listen to those dirt sheet guys over there. This is what's happening behind the scenes. Like those people reporting on it, they're wrong. They're always wrong. Just listen to us.
Yeah. And they're doing the like, we told you in January that they were wrong. Now we're showing you that they were wrong. This is why you should always be on our side. No, I knew immediately when they announced it what it was, with your homeboy, Credit Boy, being the face of the whole project, essentially. I'm like, oh, I know like what because he's already been trying to give off that I'm the Dana White of this. Essentially, like, the company moves through me. These are all my chess pieces to move and play with as I want. And this just like reassured it. That thing that you're that you're talking about, Phil, with I haven't watched the whole thing either, but I saw the clip of him breaking down Cena's heel turn, which is funny enough.
Yeah, through the phone calls,
where he breaking it down through the phone calls like it's some murder mystery, and or like he's into like he's like George Clooney in Ocean's 11. He's like, and then we needed this piece. We needed this guy to come from the ceiling, and then we need this guy to play. And it's like, what?
Yeah, I get it, man. It's a work though. I don't think people understand that part of it because people are like, oh, well, this is what they're still giving you the information that they want you to have. Like, this is not like really them giving you access. It's them letting you in enough to make you feel like you're behind the curtain, but also they're just giving you the information they want you to have.
Right. Yeah, because I've seen people latching on to the WrestleMania 41 card being there, and they're like, see, we told you, like we always do. And I'm like, well, they're not gonna give it like you think they're giving it.
Well, the funny thing about it, and this is also just how funny the internet is. The internet's like, look at this dry erase board with all of these matches that were going to be on this card. And I'm like, wait a minute, why does that look familiar? Oh, it's because Ibu and other people have also said that those matches were going to happen, and people are like the usual, all you dirt sheet guys are liars. You don't have any real sources over there. But again, when it comes from them, it's true. When it comes from somebody else, it's not true. And that's the world we're in. That's the information game that people are playing of like, don't trust the media. The media is bad. Get your information from me.
We are the media.
Yeah, which is a slippery slope. But again, I don't think people realize that this is part of a work. It's not real. They want you to keep the name of the show is Unreal. They want to make it seem like, look, this is the real side of the business, but even this isn't real.
Even this isn't real, man. It's just another like, yes, you are insiders. You are on this side too. We are all playing the same game, as they say. But it's sort of like you can see it. This is just a reassuring thing for me, Phil, this special, because I've been seeing it with how since they've went to TKO, with how the perception that they're giving out and how like media in that company, dealing with media in that company has changed. Like they've been consistently forever being like Dave Meltzer and those people are the worst. But recently with them being like, our stuff, like we don't even need to go off for podcasts, for interviews, for anything. Like it's all in-house now. And so they're just like, why don't we just make media in-house too?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Come do interviews with our podcast. Like, go talk to Stephanie. Go talk to Cody Rhodes. Why do you need to go to that podcast over there? Come, just do it all in house. Yeah, but we already saw some of the stuff this weekend. This week rather. People getting very mad at Sean for that Charlotte thing, and I was just like, but this is a pretty normal thing, guys. Like,
I went for at a job and clap for some fool that I didn't like before. You know, that's just like kind of a part of the business. Business,
it's pretty normal for them to be like, hey, go out there and clap for this. It happens all the time. I don't think it has anything particularly to do with Charlotte. I don't think it has anything to do with them trying to be heavy-handed with their push of Charlotte. It happens all the time. I don't know. And I think people just editorialized it and added like this perception of why Sean put that out, which was very weird. But a lot of this stuff is weird, man. I don't know.
You don't do this about AEW is things that I said. I'm like, what is
but he reports things about AEW too.
What are y'all?
I don't know.
What is a lot of funny bits have came out of that show. At least it's when the clips that I saw, I was like, the thing that gonna get me is, like I was saying, now all these fools really gonna think they're insiders and really think they got the key to all this. And I've been seeing it all week, and I'm just like, that's the only thing is, like, now fans, there are already so many insiders and people moving on the internet. There's gonna be a legion of more, and people telling us that they know better than us, the people that are doing this on a
of course
daily basis, you know.
Of course. Also saw that they've done a few things to insulate Credit Boy number 1, because I saw immediately already, like, yeah, see, this isn't Triple H's fault. Look, this was this guy's idea. Like, I saw that they were doing that with the Royal Rumble thing. Like, look, he didn't want Jay to win. It was Michael Hayes. He said that, and it's like, yeah, but Triple H is still head of creative. He still makes final say on everything. So
it's so funny that was the first thing that I was seeing about it before I had, because immediately, Phil, as soon as it got on Netflix, like at midnight here on the West Coast, I got online and there's a gazillion clips, but everybody was immediately like, this is why we hate Michael Hayes. And it was like this Michael Hayes hate train. I was like, what did Michael Hayes do? And then I watched that clip and I was like, oh, Fall Guy Michael Hayes. I see what's going on.
Yeah, not yeah. We are switching them narratives up, buddy. All of a sudden, Triple H loves CM Punk. All of this other stuff, it just gets crazy, bro.
I can't believe how these things have changed. Everybody's like, this is why we've always knew CM Punk. They've been working together for so long. I'm like, they're working together? Yes, but like, this is Triple H being like, look at this guy was talking all this shit about me. This guy was doing all this. Now look what's going on. He has to praise me, you guys. He has to praise me.
Yeah. A lot of that, but yeah, a lot of narratives being controlled with this, which again, I expect it because it's their show. They're putting this information out, so it's going to be what they want you to see, and that's fine. I don't even think any of this is necessarily like the end of the world, or like, oh no, it's ruining wrestling, like it's ruining kayfabe. I just think that people have to be careful with how much they take from this. I think people have to take some of this stuff with a grain of salt.
My question for you is, do you think the strategy is going to work? Do you think that the beyond casual fans will be like, oh yeah, let me try this thing after watching the special?
I don't know, because I always say I don't know what casual fans want. It could.
Not a casual fans, I wouldn't know.
Exactly. I can't speak for casual fans because I haven't been a casual fan in a very long time. And so it could. I think theoretically it could be one of those things where it gets people to understand, like, okay, well, this is just a TV show like anything else, and get past the whole it's fake thing. Maybe. I don't know. But I do think on the other side, their fans, they're going to take it because their fans accept everything that they do. They're ready. They're readily ready to go. Yep, that sounds like the truth. Yep, sure.
No, they love it. They've been like having their victory lap and being like, just another part of us being in. We're the WWE universe. We're part of all these things. Like another show for us.
They're loving it. Everything they put out.
It's interesting because they've worked so hard to do, like, all I've been watching WWE my entire life, and all they've ever wanted is this. They just wanted us to be like, we accept everything you guys give up. We love everything that's going on. Even the stuff we don't love, we'll just love because we know eventually long-term storytelling will get us to love this thing.
Yeah, let it play out.
Great strategy, old Paul. But yeah, we'll see in the future what damage this does to the wrestling business.
Yeah, I don't think it'll necessarily damage the business. I just think it'll just add to certain mindsets that already exist.
Yeah. I just think the business was already dead, maybe. Not dead, but like kayfabe was fully dead. And I'm just being an old head of like, not another thing to spit on its grave, but that's where we are.
Yeah.
there's an old head mentality needed here. They're like, we're making money, dude. Shut up. And I'm like, yeah, I hear you. Appreciate that, Van Twin Blade. The other Mikey V says, hilarious day for AEW Hills yesterday. The like brand AEW Hills or AEW Hills?
I don't know.
Mikey V, let us know. There's always hilarious days for AEW Hills. Maybe you're talking about the MJF thing. MJF won the CMLL World Lightweight Championship yesterday and was being MJF out there having a great time.
Yeah. Yeah, he's saying the heels themselves, Ricochet and MJF. Yeah, Ricochet was he was in some wild shenanigans, man. I don't know what's going on. Why was he over there? Why was he doing that?
What was when I like at first I saw the picture and then like I just looked at the picture, then I looked to the left of the picture. I was like, wait, what's he doing there? Why was like Ricochet helped Bully Ray beat Zilla Fatu for a Hog Championship, and I didn't know if I would say those words together. I didn't really understand what's going on. It was a lot of excitement around that show because Ricochet was going to be challenging Amazing Red, and the clips that I've seen from that look dope. But I didn't think he was going to end the night helping Bully Ray. Zilla.
Yes, I scrolled past the picture too fast. So this is the first time I've ever noticed just how similar, if you look at them, Top Dollar and Bully Ray are, because they're both bald, they both have beards, they both wear like the jersey and the short combo. And so when I first looked, I was like, oh, Top Dollar's in House of Glory. And then I was like, wait, no, that's Bully Ray. Like Bully Ray's winning titles in 2025. I'm like, what's going on?
Bully Ray is winning titles in 2025. Yeah, I don't know anything anymore. Up is down, down is up, side, left, all that stuff. Zilla Fatu also. I caught up on a little bit of Zilla Fatu news yesterday because I saw a video of. Funny enough, Phil, remember after the Hills Have Eyes show in Las Vegas, we ran into Mama Zilla Fatu and how much
Very
of a
funny.
personality, a great personality. We had an amazing time for that 5 minutes or whatever, and she made us take a picture with us. We loved it. She had a video where she was talking about Rikishi because Rikishi did a video on his podcast. I watched the video of Rikishi, and that's your uncle, and your uncle is hating on why I don't even why, as an uncle, why are you talking like this about your nephew? Like he was just like, I didn't like what he did. He's acting like Jeff Hardy. I'm like, when was he acting like Jeff Hardy? Because he had face paint or something. He just didn't like any part of the TNA thing. And I was like, well, but why would you say this about your nephew who's trying to get over and do all this? And so
You think he's working, or is he just he's just talking? I don't know.
I was confused after I watched the clip. I was like, I don't know what if he is working, like what, but also he probably is working. But Zilla came back and was like, hey, why are you disrespecting me on this podcast? Blah blah. You could have just came to me, which is what I was thinking. I'm like, if you have these concerns, you should be talking to Zilla, not to this podcast. So Mama Zilla got on and was like, essentially, I got the Usos came to stay with me when they were coming up. They were out here in Texas. I was taking them with my late husband was taking them to Booker T to get them. And then in 9 months, they got the contract. She was essentially saying, I got this. I did all this. I don't even know why you're talking like this. And I was at the end of it. I was like, we probably shouldn't be in any of this. I don't think we should be doing it.
It's getting into that territory. Take us out the group chat.
Yeah, take us out the group chat. This is family business, and we shouldn't be hearing about this. But very controversial stuff going on. But the energy I knew in the Mama Zilla video, because we had met her that day. I was like, oh yeah, this is her.
10 toes down.
Every time.
As she should be. That's her son.
Straight up, like she was moving with this is my son energy. Don't disrespect him, and I was all, yeah, I feel her.
Which is hilarious because it's almost like Rikishi got hoisted by his own baton because he has been this whole time like my son, and so she's just like, well, hold on, my son.
We talking my son shit. What about my son right here? That is exactly what the energy was too, and I was just like, okay. y'all need to get on a phone call and hash this out. But also the him losing immediately to Bully Ray afterwards, I was like, that's interesting. That's it. I don't know what that means.
But he's still fourth rope champion, right?
Yes. But like, I don't know. I just like, that's interesting. And to like Bully Ray, a like not active pro wrestler, like what's going on?
I don't really understand. I don't watch House of Glory enough to really understand the storyline. So I don't know. But yeah, I hope that this is just a work and it's not just like family drama playing out on podcast. That's kind of crazy.
Of all places, y'all beefing on a podcast? Like, that's not the way we should do this. I'm hoping, like, yeah, this is a work. Rikishi's setting Youngzilla up for something because this is crazy.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Mike. Rafael Garcia says, I still find it hilarious that they had Roman out here getting his shoes jacked in Detroit. T-Baby was right. It's so cold in the D.
Yeah, nah, run them shoes.
Run them shoes. That's it. Let me get like we smashed you here, brother, and let me get them shoes. And the homie Bronson Reed has been making a bit out of it all week. Like it was a good one. It worked.
Yeah, he had shoes around his neck during a kickoff show yesterday. Yeah, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, good shit, man. I appreciate that, Raphael. That's all of our super chats for now.
Yeah, appreciate you. Sure, we have some humper chats. See, we have a few. Got one from Tony P. He says, "It always amazes me when coons who are wearing for one of those, one of those humper chats." He said, "It always amazes me when coons that roll with the right usually fuck around and find out. They either get their wake up call, wanting sympathy, and black people back them up, or receive consequences for the actions they're trying to use to defend shitty actions. Also, speaking of assholes, wait, what was the first humper chat about?"
I was like, wait, where's this going though?
I thought that this was about something in particular. But so he says, also, speaking of assholes, Mr. I am not political. It seems normal now during his PR blitz for a major PLE for him to say something stupid. We know he was PR training, but he don't probably care.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Maybe he's talking about somebody defending Papa H. I don't know.
Could be those things. But yeah, I think that where I've landed is they were testing the waters on being more political because all year they've been doing things to kind of dip their toes in. And I think like with the Roman stuff, Logan Paul has done a couple things. Like they're like, okay, nobody's not that they're not going to care, but they're not going to do anything about whatever anger that they have. And he was like, I'm just going to go full in. This is the way, like standing. When I saw that picture of him, Trump and JD Vance, I was all, well, if you don't care after this, then who cares? And I think that's where he's landing. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Their fan base is they're not going to care. They're going to keep watching.
There you
go. So, got more from Tony P. He says, also, Unreal sounds like a Triple H PR project from non-biased reviews. Still on WWE TV. That face turn was jarring last night and off as hell. Also, the pairing of Julia and Kiana feels off. If this is to help Kiana, I get it, but mucking up Julia's vibes, in my opinion. Yeah, I did see the Julia and Zelina match, and I don't really understand this pairing of Kiana James. Kiana James is coming out as her assistant, and it just doesn't really match. And maybe they'll change, but like visually, I don't really understand why you're doing this. But I guess it's just a way to get Kiana on TV.
Which, like, she's talented and she deserves a slot, but I saw the video where the clip from Raw where she's like, I'm her representative now. And like visually, immediately, I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like I'm, trying to have someone talk for Julia, I guess is a thing, but
she doesn't need anybody to talk for her.
So what's the point of all this?
Let Julia talk, let her show her personality. That was part of the appeal of her in Stardom, why are you giving her someone to speak for? I don't think she needs a mouthpiece
at all.
And I'm sure people are going to be like, but stories, like, this is building to something, and it may be, but I don't know. For me, I think it's kind of jarring, and it could get better, but like just seeing them together so far, I don't really understand the point of it. More from Tony P says, Raw had a fun go home show. I enjoyed Sammy Cross promo and Punk lying through his teeth about the Red Wings. All the tag matches rocked. Then the closing of Bronson, Jack and Roman shoes, wonderful. Now that would have been petty of the week, but AEW did something unique. He said there was petty energy from a lot of people in AEW this week, from Shelton, Darby, Dustin, Fletcher, the women, hell, even the graphics department towards talent name. So AEW, congratulations. You get the second petty of the week as a company since last year's All Out Snuff pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a pay-per-view week. WWE definitely did some more pettier moments throughout this, I'd say. But another story for another day.
Yeah.
Like, them turning, well, this is more on people than anybody, but the Cody Rhodes interview stuff being centered around AEW was all right, you guys. There's some more context with it fully coming out, and I was got a little bit deeper in the expansion of what he was saying too. So, but the game is the game. Nobody really knows the full story, as I continuously been seeing since those quotes came out, that people are, it's so funny, Phil, because we laughed after Ask Grapsody the other day. People are so wrestling focused. People are like, there's only way that this thing ended was a wrestling angle. Like, that's the only thing in our brain.
It all has to do with wrestling. It all has to do with him being booed. His wife wasn't on TV. All of this stuff that it probably isn't. Like, I think people are jumping to conclusions, and it's a lot of people that are jumping to conclusions just because they want to defend AEW, and that's fine. But I don't think that we know what's really going on here. I don't think we know the whole story. We don't know the context, but of course, people are making it Cody's the enemy now. Cody is constantly bashing AEW, which he's not. He's not bashing AEW. I think it's something happened. He just can't talk about it. I have my theory as to why he can't talk about it, but something happened.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people immediately jumping on the what did he ever do for AEW? He was never disrespected. I'm like, you don't know if he was never disrespected because you're basing it off Cody Rhodes, the TV wrestling character. I'm like, you don't know what went on back there. Like, how do you know he was never blah blah blah?
Well, it sounds similar to certain people leaving WWE and then they have negative things to say about their experience in WWE, and then WWE fans will immediately go, that didn't happen. Well, how do you know that didn't happen? You weren't there.
That didn't happen. I see that so often. Like, I don't think you could say that.
Well, how were they disrespected? Like, I keep seeing that with people with Mercedes. How was she disrespected? Well, you don't know. You weren't there.
She won the Royal Rumble. I'm like, it doesn't, or that's, that wasn't the case, but like, that's what they'll say. I'm like, that's not what they're talking about. That Cody wasn't talking about, I was disrespected by the fans who were booing me at the end and blah, blah, blah. That's not what he was talking about.
I don't think that's what he was talking about either. Because I think if it was about the fans, he would have just said that.
Right.
So, people are going to continue to jump to conclusions. People are going to continue to act like, the Cody guy. Yeah, and I think that's mostly people that just don't like WWE, or they started to not like the guy to begin with, and so you're just going to go with preconceived notions of why you think he left and what you think he's talking about, but we don't know the whole story here.
Because I saw a lot of people being like, here he comes bashing AEW again, and that's not what I took from what he said. Even in the full thing, I was like, now this feels like personal, maybe is a good way to describe it, and people are taking it as something else.
But he's been saying that all along. He's been saying that since the WWE documentary, that it's a personal issue. Now, I know some people will they'll go, well, Phil, you just said a few minutes ago they're going to give us the information that we want from them in these WWE produced things. That is true. But I think that he's been pretty consistent with the way he talks about these things when he answers questions about it, that I do think that it's something personal. I don't think it's wrestling related.
Because even in this clip, when he was like, me, Nick, Matt, and Kenny really created this thing, blah, 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 he like emphasized that they did it and it was something beyond that. And I was like, that's just interesting, his language that he's conveying in this.
Interesting, the name he keeps not saying. But the people he does say, it's interesting. I don't know why he's doing that.
That's what I came out of it thinking is like, interesting that the names that are omitted from this, and that's what I left it being like, oh, I wonder, because he's like, there's bad blood, and I'm like, I don't know if I've ever heard him describe it that way until this, and I was like, but who are you talking about is my thing, and I mean,
there definitely is. I think if you read between the lines, there is.
Yeah,
like the fact that he's not referenced with certain things. I mean, this short Dustin title run, they haven't mentioned Cody at all, and his brother is synonymous with that belt. He wins the belt, not mentioned at all with the belt.
Nothing at all. Not a piece. Just all interesting. I just thought I do think that clip coming out when it's a WWE, like we should be focusing on WWE. This is across the board. It's like when they do it with AEW. If there's a pay-per-view that week, we should be talking about that company. But with podcasters and interviewers and clickbait and all these things, I understand why we got to that.
Yeah. I don't know the full context because I just saw the clip of him talking about it. I don't know what the actual question was.
I read a little bit more about it because he describes it on the Observer. They were talking about it, and it's essentially just asking about the time, the way they always kind of get into it, like when your time away, what was going on, what led you to this moment, type shit.
He's been there for 4 years. Why are we still asking that question?
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, damn, still, bro. Like we could never ask Cody Rhodes about AEW again, and it'd be fine. Like he's the biggest star in the other brand now. Like we don't need the stories anymore. I think we got it. You know what I mean? Oh no. It was because Cody said he's gonna write a book. I forgot that's an important context. Okay. Cody said he's gonna write a book, and he's all, I've been wondering about the things that I'm going to say in the book. And then he got on to what would I say about AEW in the book.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
So
that makes more sense because I was about to say, we're still asking this. How did you make the decision to leave? Question. That's I think we got it. It's cool. We've got that question multiple times.
He's gonna write a book, and I don't know what, like, because there's, of course, like he's saying there's something to say about it, but can he say something about it?
Which is my theory that he has signed an NDA, and that's why he won't say what actually happened.
Because a lot of the lingo and the way that he's been tiptoeing, everybody kind of been tiptoeing around it, is like, okay, something happened, something's in writing. I feel. Yes.
That's my theory, that he signed an NDA, and to my point of people acting like, well, nothing happened, and he's just, you don't sign the NDA if nothing happened.
Right. Exactly. It's messy still. Yeah. If Cody does write a book, I'm sure that would.
He's gonna do some more alluding to things, and people are gonna get mad again, and it's gonna be the usual. I'm sick of this guy. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
He was never a draw. We always hated him.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, I don't feel like some AEW fans hate him. Like I was saying, I asked Grapsody, I do think that there's a good chance that this guy, after all of this, could end up going back to AEW and having another run there.
This is all just like, oh, you're creating the same story you did with WWE. Now you're going to have this big thing to go and win the AEW World Championship. And you guys, it ended on a kind of bitter note, it sounds like. Now you have to go and fix that. I think I could see him back in AEW one day.
Nothing out of the realm of possibility at this point. It's crazy. I mean, him going back there was crazy. Him going back to WWE was crazy to begin with. So him leaving and going back to AEW isn't that far fetched.
Nothing's anything. CM Punk going back to WWE, anything in the world could happen. Like even going back, Ultimate Warrior going back to WWE, nothing is final in the pro wrestling business. Like anything can happen at any moment.
Yeah. I think that is all of our Humper chat for now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just double check.
We got a few more super chats that came in. I'll read those off while you check into that. The homie Busby says, so we're basically in the new Let It Play Out 2.0 era. Cold game.
Oh, it never went away.
Yeah, right?
In order to start a new era, you would have to assume that the old era stopped. The old era is still going. It's still going strong.
The old era is still going strong. I think that's the main point that people skip out on is like they think something switched over. Nothing really switched over. Like we just continued. And I think that's the Unreal reassured that of Let It Play Out because it reassured a lot of people of what they're already thinking and it confirmed those ideals. And so they're gonna really now be like, okay, like if we just chill on the story or with this Cena stuff, they could change anything at any moment now, Phil, and just be like, oh, this is why. Like they could come in 3 months and be like, well, this is the backstory and this is why that was a good idea.
Yes.
What a world, man. I mean, that again, it's a TV show that's manipulated by all these things. So I understand. It's just crazy. Appreciate that, Busby. The homie Eloquent says people need to run Dustin Rhodes them apologies. Him having a banger with Fletcher was worth his all-in win.
Maybe. It was a good match. I don't know if I would say that means that it was worth it. I think it was a good match, though.
I thought it was a great match. I think that Dustin, anytime he's put into these big moments, he definitely knocks it out of the park. Worth it. I mean, that moment at All In was big, and like I understood what was happening, but like we needed this Fletcher thing, so I don't know. But appreciate that, Eloquent. The homie Meet Normus says Triangle of Madness seems like a box of structure. I love all three, but the name is Retribution levels of 2 packs of ass. Still excited for women's tag team titles whenever folks get healthy.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm the biggest fan of the name either, but I like the three of them together, and I like what it seems like they're building towards. It sure seems like we're getting a women's blood and guts match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they look great together. Like everything, the name doesn't. I don't hate it as much as I've seen people hate it, but everything beyond the name I think is great, and I think like them working together as a team is a great idea. This seems to be leading to a bunch of things like Phil's saying. Women's blood and guts, Meet Normus, potentially women's tag team championships. I think there's so many good things that are going to come out of all this.
Yeah, I think that was a cool shot after the women's match on Collision of the 5 women going up to rap. Tekla, big problem starter, up at the front, laughing at the whole thing, and then the baby faces coming together. So yeah, I hope that's what we're getting because I think we're overdue for a women's blood and gut match.
Long overdue. And they've been kind of upping the violence, as they say. A lot of the stuff that they've been doing with like Megan and Penelope and Anna and Ty is like hardcore matches or like no disqualifications, and they've been setting it up. They all had weapons when they ran down there, so seems like they've been planting the seeds. Hopefully they execute that. Appreciate that, Meet Normus. And then the homie Shadow C says Collision was a banger. Kyle Fletcher looked like a mega star the whole presentation.
Yes. Getting to do that in Chicago. He lives here now. So cool for him. On the Dustin thing as well, I think when you say run Dustin's apologies, I don't think anybody that was disappointed with him winning the title were mad at Dustin.
No.
Because I think he just benefited from a bad situation. I just think everything around the situation was messy. I mean, you know, the injury stuff and just them having to make a move on the fly, it just was a tough situation. And so I don't think anybody was necessarily upset with him. I think people were just kind of like, why does Dustin have 3 belts? Like, what's going on here?
That's the only questions we really had. Like, I was like, I understood in the moment if they're scrambling to come out of this Adam Cole with something redeemable. We're in Texas, like all the dots kind of added up to give Dustin it. But I mean, like I said, it was Fletcher's moment. Like, we were just waiting these couple of weeks to get to Fletcher. So it was great. I think having Dustin have that moment, the press conference, a couple of weeks with the championship, and then having this match to put a stamp on it. I think all of it was awesome. The natural theme song and all, like it hit me in the where it's supposed to hit me.
Yeah, I think it worked out. Was it worth it? I don't know yet. I don't know.
Worth it?
I think it's subjective.
Worth it. It's subjective. That's a great way to describe it.
It is.
Appreciate that, homie. Shadow C. And then the homie Tom Talks Rubbish says, thanks for being awesome. Reg, looking forward to speaking with you on Monday. Yeah, I'm going to talk with the homie Tom Talks Rubbish on his pod this week. Definitely going to keep you guys posted onto when that drops. Appreciate you, Tom, for always being a supporter, and looking forward to that. That is all of our super chats for now.
Tony P is saying that initial Humper chat was about academics. He says, he said, damn, what was I typing? I was talking about academics earlier. Also, I spoke more about Julia, Kiana, Stephanie, and a missed Humper.
Mm-hmm.
See that message.
Well, they call him the natural.
Oh, yeah, I see it now. Sorry. He says, if this is to help Julia, though, she doesn't need it. Also, I feel as though Julia isn't getting the shine she once had because Stephanie has grown in popularity so fast, and what they thought Julia was going to be is what Stephanie ended up becoming. Yeah, I just think that Stephanie makes more sense with their audience, and she's just gotten over quicklier. Quicklier, that's not word, quicker.
Yeah, I think them coming in at like virtually the exact same time, people were going to assume that they were going to have the same kind of trajectories, you know what I mean? Like assume that they were going to be moving at the same speed. But I think Stephanie was coming off of a different thing when she entered. Like they both were, you know, hot prospects, hot free agents, but like Stephanie was coming off of being loud with the championship she was holding and all the stuff that was going on. So I understand why the iron was super hot when she came in. Like the iron I still think is going to get hot for Julia. I just think Stephanie's process was different when she came in.
Yeah, I think that it just worked out better for Stephanie. Van Twinblade is asking if we're going to Wrestle Dream. I'm probably going because it's in St. Louis.
Yeah, no, I think I'm done traveling for wrestling this year.
Yeah, it's close to me, so it's like a quick train ride, so I might go.
I'm going to a wedding I just described. Shout out to my homie Richard getting married. That's gonna be fun.
You said like Richard, this guy.
I'm officiating that wedding. Shout out to officiating weddings. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be my 4th one.
Our last Humper chat from Tony P says, before I go, in your opinion, what percentage you have of the following mid-carders winning the AEW world title within the next 2 to 4 years? Bobby, Mark Briscoe, Ricochet, Brody, and Jay. Bobby, I think now that they have the unified belt, there's a good chance that he could win one of those belts in the next 2 years.
Bobby, 2 to 4 years. Yeah, I think with 2 championships, I put Bobby at about 60%. I think he has a high chance with the 2, because the 2 championship changes so much. I think Phil, for what, like if it was just the AEW World Championship, I'd be like, I know the line's going to be kind of long for the next 2 years, but them kind of being divided up and you can have guys over here and guys over there, I think it ups guys like Bobby Lashley's chances a lot.
Yeah. Mark is kind of tough. Like I think Mark is one of the hottest baby faces right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I buy they're gonna put the world title on him now. Within the next 2 to 4 years.
I feel like he could get to that point. Like they could get him to the point of when he won the ROH World Championship. Like that could happen. 2 years though.
Yeah, I think there's a more of a chance that he could win the Ring of Honor World Title again than anything.
Or like the TNT Championship. Like I don't know if they're like Phil saying he's hot as a babyface, like one of the hottest in the company and should be world champion, but I don't know if they're going to do that. So I'd probably put him in like 40.
Yeah, got a really great promo on Wednesday. I thought he was great in general on Wednesday.
He's amazing. Like like I said, he should be world champion, but I don't know if they feel the same.
I mean, just with the line so far of people that I think could be world champion, I don't know that I would put Mark Briscoe ahead of like Will Ospreay right now,
or Fletcher,
or Swerve, or there's just a bunch of people right now. I don't know that I would say that.
Yeah, like I wouldn't put him over Ospreay, Swerve, or Max. You know what I mean? Like there's no, like there's definitely a chance, but like the line, like Phil is saying, it's getting kind of long.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a chance we could see Takeshita as world champion. I think there's a chance we could see Okada win the AEW World Championship. Like, can I really put Mark Briscoe ahead of some of those names? I don't know.
I probably wouldn't. Who else is on the list? Ricochet.
I
think Ricochet kind of falls into the same line as Mark Briscoe for me.
Ricochet, I think, is in the same conversation with Bobby because they're 2 belts, maybe.
Yeah, because I could see Ricochet as unified champion. I don't know if AEW World Champion in the 2 years.
Yeah. Brody, I would like to hope so, but because we haven't had any like advancement for him as a singles wrestler, I'm not so sure in 2 or 4 years. I think he should be in a world title picture. Like I think he should be in a world title picture now, to be honest.
Yeah, I have to say on Brody, because if we went 4 years and he wasn't anywhere in there in the 4 years, they would be fucking up. So like, there has to get to a point, because I think he can be on either side also as a heel and a baby face. I think right now he's monster as baby face, and I think there's a super heist that he could go, but immediately they could flip the switch and he could be a heel challenging somebody for the world championship too, or somebody chasing him as the world champion. I think he's like, there's a couple of those like on the verge, him, Kyle Fletcher, like in that position that are going to guaranteed be world champions. It's just the quickness and time that it'll come. But if we go in 4 years and he's not, I'll be like, what the fuck were you guys doing?
Yeah. Jay is another one that should be, but he's had some unfortunate situations with injuries. He's gotten cooled a few times where he could have been in that situation. And he's a big match wrestler. He's a world champion level wrestler. So he should be in that conversation. I just don't know, how do you get him there within the next 2 years with some of the stuff that's happened with him? Maybe in the next 3 or 4 years, maybe.
He's kind of, I think he's actually a better heel. Like if they put him in as heel and let him fucking go off, we could be there quick. But I don't know if, like you're describing with the unfortunate injuries and kind of things he's ran into, if they'll feel faithful enough to go all in at this point.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah. He says, with that, have a good weekend and protect each other. Fightful/Grapsody fam.
Appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you. Suppose we should get into the pay-per-view, because there's a pay-per-view tonight and tomorrow.
It's coming
up. SummerSlam will be emanating from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, not New York. I've seen a lot of people talking about the commute and like the travel for this. It sounds insane. And it sounds similar to when people were talking about when WrestleMania was there and like getting to the venue, and it sounds nuts.
The worst WrestleMania travel, I think I ended up at 11. I've been to 11 WrestleMania weekends. I've been to 9 or 10 WrestleManias themselves. The worst travel that I ever had getting out of a WrestleMania was WrestleMania 35 at MetLife Stadium. It was god awful. It took like 8 hours or something to get from my seat to where I was sleeping that night. Like it was. They didn't figure out at the time, which is crazy because we were leaving a fucking football stadium. They didn't figure out how to deal with all these people trying to get on the train at the same time and all these things. Like, I hope these things have been figured out. It doesn't sound like they have because people have been chiming in. A couple of the New York homies are like, I don't know what's gonna go on over here, but I would just like to say on record, 35 from this place was the god awfulest travel I've ever had. So.
Yes. Cardi B will be hosting. They haven't really said much about Cardi in the build to this, so is she still hosting? It seems like she's hosting, but
she was doing a live or something where she was talking about, she was like, oh, I shouldn't have been talking shit about these people. I have to see them. So she's still promoting that she's gonna be.
Yeah, so it's mostly been on the internet. She's been going back and forth with people on the internet, but it hasn't been much about it on the actual TV show. So Cardi B will be hosting this. Mikey V is saying that she's only going to be hosting night one or something like
gotcha.
that. But that's just wild in itself. Cardi B hosting the WWE pay-per-view. Yeah, we got 2 6-match cards. Get them in front of us. For night one, Tiffany Stratton will be defending the WWE Women's Championship against Jade Cargill. I think most of us coming into this match before Evolution thought that Naomi was going to play spoiler here and cash in. Now I feel like Jade is going to win.
Yeah, I think that especially with, I was blown away with some of the media appearances the homegirl Jade did this week. She was on the pod with Jeff Teagues and the homies, and she was also on with Rory and Maul. And I was like, oh, they got her on this PR run in these outlets. She got to be going over, right, Phil? Like, it felt like they're just grooming this run for Jade to be the world champion. And the way that she was talking and looking this weekend, I'm like, oh yeah, she has that championship energy going into this.
Yeah, she's been outside. She was at Empire State Building. She was doing a lot of press for this weekend. That kind of tells me she's winning. I do think it would be funny if Naomi just came out and cost her the match anyway, even though she's champion. And she just cost her the match just because.
That would be great.
I think that would be hilarious. But I do think Jade's going to win.
I saw talks coming out of a little bit back to WWE Unreal of the Charlotte talk. And people were like, oh, this was a PR campaign to get them to turn on Tiffany Stratton, and that they feel like she's being de-pushed coming off this Charlotte stuff. Because in the special, there's a point where Triple H is like, I need Tiffany to apologize to Charlotte for what she was doing, even though, like you were saying on Ask Grapsody, Charlotte started all this. But the special is like, how dare somebody talk to Charlotte like this?
Yeah, I don't know if I would say she's been de-pushed because, she won at WrestleMania. She's still champion. I do think some of this has harmed her, but you could turn her heel again outright and she would be fine. I don't think this is like the end for Tiffany if they take the belt off of her at SummerSlam. I think she'll be fine.
I think so too. I think actually I kind of like her better as a heel.
Me too.
They were not forced, but like they had a good situation where she was so over that they had to turn her babyface. But I think she just, with her gimmick and how she be acting, works way better as a heel.
Yeah, her whole character just works better as a heel. But
boy,
oh my god, yeah, don't do that, please. Don't call black people boy.
Please don't do that. It's not the game these days.
Controversial match for some people. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll will be taking on Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul.
This isn't a controversial match for everyone, Phil.
No, I just think some people on the internet are like reasonably like, I don't know why Jelly Roll is wrestling again. Why should I care about this? And other people are like, well, just give it a chance. Like, why do you guys hate on everything? I personally don't really care, but I know that this is what they do. It's SummerSlam. They're trying to make SummerSlam into like a WrestleMania in the middle of the year. So this is a very kind of WrestleMania style match with a celebrity. So I get it. I'm not that interested in it, but I understand why it's here.
They've been doing bits. They were on a talk show promoting this thing. I've seen a lot of people. I was like thinking, why do I keep seeing this Bad Bunny entrance on the timeline this week? I'm like, oh, because people are comparing celebrity matches and celebrity things. And I'm like, it's WWE, so it's going to be, as we see, so controlled, and it'll be fine and everything will work out. And the enthusiasm that Jelly Roll has been showing is cool. That's an infectious thing, but like not really. Randy Orton's in it too, so I'm not really for me. Not for me.
Yeah, Jelly Roll clearly loves wrestling, so I guess. But
did we find out if Drew McIntyre made it to America? Because he was having that passport stuff this week.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They were talking about they might need to replace him in this match. I do think it would be very funny if he's just like, "You got me in this Jelly Roll match. Nah, I'm stuck at home, dog. I'm sick. Yeah,
I lost my passport. I don't know if I can make it."
Bro walked past and threw his passport and some flyer. It was like, what? I don't have a passport, guys. I can't get there.
I just don't know if I could make it to SummerSlam to put over Jelly Roll, you guys. And then the Miz was like, "Replace me. Let me replace." I'm like, "Nah, you don't."
Yeah,
somebody take the Miz's phone.
I think the fact that it's still on
still
the
advertised
matches and he was on SmackDown, he'll be there.
Oh, he was on SmackDown.
Yeah, that's what people are saying in that chat. I didn't watch all of SmackDown,
okay.
but he was there.
There you go.
Yeah, I think Randy and Jelly Roll are gonna win this.
It's a 6 sentence. I think Randy and Jelly Roll are gonna win.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? This was supposed to be the Travis Scott spot, or do you think it was going to be in addition to Jelly Roll?
I think Travis, if because the reports are saying that there's been a falling out with Travis. I don't know how much I actually believe, but I think Travis was going to play a part in the Cena stuff.
We haven't seen Travis.
Yeah. It looks away. I don't know what this means, and based on the segment we got last night, also pretty funny. But yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty straightforward that Randy and Jelly Roll are gonna win here.
Jelly Roll's gonna do his big choke slam. Everyone's gonna love it. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So Marcos Munoz is saying you didn't watch SmackDown. Didn't have the best taste in my mouth with certain stuff they've been doing. I had it on, so I just didn't watch it in full, but I did have it on the TV.
He was standing next to the homeboy, and I was like, you know what? Count me out. And then they showed it too. Double count me out.
But Judgment Day. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez will be defending the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Charlotte Flair. This definitely feels like Charlotte and Alexa's match to win at this point. They've been doing more to ramp them up as a babyface team. Charlotte did that interview on a roller coaster that I thought was really funny. And they're doing more to get people to believe that this is a believable team. And so far, so good. I do think that they have chemistry. I do think that it works. And I just don't know how long you're going to keep doing this Judgment Day thing. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Charlotte and Alexa have been very outside to promote this. Charlotte has been like, I'm going to get you guys to love me and cheer me. I don't give a fuck what happens. This pairing is funny, seeing her smiling and having a great time when people want to boo her or whatever the position exists in right now. I think it's hilarious, but this is definitely a vehicle to get her another championship, and you guys don't be as mad at her.
Yeah. I think some of it is this. I legitimately think that Charlotte had a tough time, and I mean, she said that in the Players Tribune. She said this and other things. She tried to say that in her promo after she won the Rumble, but people were just mad she won the Rumble, so they weren't trying to hear that. I think that the way that they booked her return was really terrible, and that's not her fault. I think there are some people that were getting upset with her, but it wasn't her fault that she came straight back and won the Rumble. If this is WWE thing they do, they always they'll pick their person, that their handpicked person, and they'll push them no matter what the audience is telling them. They're not going to do a pivot. And this was more of this. I think that they should have understood, if you're going to bring her back and she's saying all these things like, I want sympathy for, well, let me not say it that way, because that sounds away. I want people to understand that I had a hard time while I was away. I had a career-threatening injury. My personal life was tumultuous and all these other things. And I think that they could have handled that better. She should have done like maybe sit-down interviews or something in a lead-up to Royal Rumble. Yes. And that way we had that information from her before the Rumble, not afterwards. Because when she started saying it after the Rumble, a lot of people just weren't even listening. They were just like, boo, you won the Rumble. We didn't want you to win the Rumble.
Right. They were already turned off from previous Charlotte. Like she came back and was like, I'm this new Charlotte, but people were they were stuck on the old Charlotte. So you had to establish, if you want the people to get behind you, you got to establish it before you show us that she's the same Charlotte.
Yeah. And then you put her against somebody that is still new and up and coming. And it looked like the same thing all over again. It looked like her possibly beating Rhea Ripley again, or when Asuka came up and she had the streak and then she beat Asuka. And so it felt like we've seen this before. People didn't want her to just win the Rumble and possibly beat Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. And so I just think there were so many things going against her. And the vignettes that they aired tonally were very differently from things she was saying when she came back in her promo.
Right.
But I think this works for her. Hopefully they have a good run with the tag belts. And even if they don't win tonight, hopefully this is like a consistent thing they're doing with them as a team, because that division needs consistent teams.
And not just a vehicle to get one of them over.
Yes. Got Roman Reigns and Jey Uso taking on the Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. I don't think there's any really question here. Roman and Jey are going to win. I just don't see them losing.
This is probably the easiest prediction of the whole card. Like, Roman Reigns is here and it's not the main event, right?
No, the World Heavyweight Championship match should be the main event.
Roman Reigns is here in a not main event. This is Jey Uso still super over. Like, they're going to go in there and get their big win. They took Roman's shoes, like we're saying. They disrespected the homie in front of the national TV audience. So they're dead. They're out of here. This will be a big Roman entrance. This will be a big showcase. But we know where this is going.
Yeah, and since Roman came back a few years ago and became the tribal chief, SummerSlam has been kind of like his showcase show. Like, he's been attached to SummerSlam in a lot of ways since he came back. So Roman's definitely winning here.
Are you gonna get a Yeet C shirt? What's the shirt? Yeet, Yeet tribal chief or whatever. Yeet chief. Not gonna get one. Not gonna cop.
No, I'm good. I'm good. But this is a good spot for the Browns as well. I think this is a good way to put them on a big stage, put them in a big match with some big stars. But I don't think they're winning. I just don't see
it does feel like those guys have been shining in the moment. Like, every time I've seen Braun Breaker this week, he's been like, I'm on, I can't wait. Him being in a moment where Roman Reigns, he feels like he's really excited about that. So them guys are not going to care about losing there and with the fucking big dog.
Yes. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. There's a stipulation match. If Kross wins, Zayn has to say the words "Kross was right." If Zayn wins, Cross must say I was wrong about Zayn. Because the whole story here is that Karrion Kross has been saying that Sami Zayn is a liar. Admit you're a liar. And he just won't. Like, that's been a bunch of the beatdowns. He's been like standing over him, like, say it. Say you're a liar. And so that is a very funny stipulation for this.
Hilarious.
I think that it's great out of all of this stuff that people online have been continuously saying we want to see Karrion Kross. We like the story elements here. We want to see more of this guy, that this actually turned into a pay-per-view match for him. That's great. And never going to complain about my guy Sami Zayn being on the show.
Ever.
I kind of think Kross needs to win.
I would think so. Yeah.
In order to justify all of this and story stuff, I kind of think Kross needs to win.
He does.
Especially because Sami won at Night of Champions.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't think that he's going to win.
That's the only. That's the part that's kind of fucked up, because like there's been this talks of Kross's contracts and all this going into this show, and I'm like, I don't know if the big dog's gonna make it out of this contract negotiation. I do like that, like you said, the fans rallying behind Kross and getting him into these positions. I think is a good sign for that. But I don't know if he's gonna beat Sami Zayn tonight in this match.
I think it would be kind of wild if they do all of this and then Sami just beats him twice. Reviews it just like, okay, so
that'll tell us
the point of doing all of that. I think Sami's gonna win though. I think Kross needs to win though, because otherwise, what are we doing?
I mean, Kross is the heel. He could, you know, this would make sense, but also like for what this Kross has represented, probably should give him the win.
Yes. The main event, CM Punk will be taking on Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. This build has been it's been interesting. I think when you add on stuff from WWE Unreal and that clip of everybody in the room saying, "Yep, Punk should win the Rumble," and the match was probably going to just be CM Punk versus Gunther at WrestleMania. And if you watch this podcast, I've been saying multiple times they should have just done that. That should have been the match. And so for them to do the Jey Uso short-lived run and then go straight to this after SummerSlam and just do it anyway, it's just kind of like, okay, well, we got here one way or another. I am torn on what I think is coming, because there's this report now already that Gunther needs to take some time off.
I didn't see this report.
Yeah, apparently I think he's got some kind of injury. I think it's like I want to say it's a broken nose. Don't quote me. It was something like that. But that he might need to take some time off. So that tells me Punk is probably winning.
Yes.
And just based off of the way they've booked Gunther as champion so far, yeah, I think that it's something like I could see Punk winning. But this is also the spot where we could possibly see the return of Seth Rollins. So I don't know. The Seth Rollins injury stuff has been very bizarre. The way that it's been reported has been very conflicting. I don't know what to believe at this point. We could be getting worked here. This injury could have always been part of the plan to keep him off the table until SummerSlam, or maybe he had an injury and he needed to take some time off anyway, and so that they're treating it like it's a more serious injury. At this point, I don't know, because there's been so many different things reported.
I'm confused about it. They've been doing like he's been on crutches and a brace, like when you see him, but that could all be a part of the plan. That video that Becky did of him and the kid, I'm like, okay, this could all be part of the plan. Like I could understand what's going on here, but also it could not be. You just don't know these days. I feel like Gunther, hurt or not, CM Punk was gonna beat him for this championship. I don't know if, because there's a part of me that feels like Rollins could cash in on Cody too. Yeah, like Cody beat Cena and then Rollins cashing over that, just because like we've been talking about, he's still kind of trying to take all the things that were near and dear to Roman, but he's been so much with this hatred on CM Punk that's that's going to get him a lot of heat. So I think that CM Punk is going to beat Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, though. I do know that.
Yeah, I think that Punk's going to win. I've been saying that Punk's going to be champion since last year. I'm surprised that it took this long. If it's going to happen tonight, but
looks
I
like
do
from
think
the special they were trying to make him the champion at WrestleMania, but they were outvoted.
Yeah, I think he's going to win. I think it would make sense because Rollins has been saying this whole time, "I'll never let you be world champion." What that belt represents to Rollins, and I could see him cashing in here, but I think Punk's going to win. I mean, with that belt, like that's the belt that. Well, it's not the exact belt. It's a homage to the belt that Punk cashed in to win twice. So he's kind of synonymous with that style of belt as well.
You saw this clip of yesterday. Gunther had people in a frenzy because it's a clip of him on his Instagram or something, and he's cooking veal, and he goes, "Oh, wrestling isn't my passion anymore. It's a job. Cooking's my passion." And people are like, "See what WWE did to Gunther? They killed his love for the business." And I'm like, "You guys, it's a job. This is just an Instagram thing.
He's just talking.
He's just talking."
And Gunther's smart enough that he's going to say things to rile people up as well.
This guy just got out of a feud with Goldberg. I think he knows how to play the game.
Yeah. I mean, even if he does feel that way, there's just a job, bro. Right. He's been doing this long enough. He got it. He's wrestled at WrestleMania. He did it. This is a lot farther than I thought Walter would make it, coming from OTT and like what I know him of. Like he's had a great run.
Yeah. Like he wasn't supposed to. It's exactly what I say about Kevin Owens. Like they told Kevin Owens, you might be able to get some shit over here, but we don't really have that in mind for you. Like everything, he wasn't supposed to be in these positions. These guys aren't supposed to be having big WrestleMania matches and title reigns and all that. So these are the things.
He's doing it. 2-time world champion now, has wrestled at WrestleMania. He's got a wife and he's happy, but I think he's grilling and just giving it up. I think he was just probably just joking.
And can he not just say that even if he wasn't? Can he not say this is a job? Ain't it?
That's why I'm like, you're telling me two different things. I want to be able to watch something like Unreal, but be a character. Don't say this is a job. Like that, bro, that doesn't matter. Like,
it does not matter. But if he needs time off, give him time off. Let that guy rest because he's been fucking working hard the last couple of years for that company.
The percentage of time that he's been a world champion in this company is kind of crazy too. Like they keep referencing that number. It's crazy.
Like more than 70% of his time or something in WWE has been world champion. I mean, he needs a big reward for all that Goldberg shit. Honestly, he might have to chop CM Punk extra hard tonight.
You think there's some irony here as well? The guy, the guy that did that ESPN interview a little while ago, and people were like, "Oh, you don't want to be chopped hard," and he's about to get in there with a guy that chops very hard.
You just refreshed my memory. That's fucking hilarious, dog. That's happening against the hard chop guy tonight. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's a good bit. What do you think the match is going to be?
I don't know. I think that Punk works well in these kind of matches where it's just a traditional match. The pacing is going to be interesting though. I don't know how you work around that because Gunther works at his own pace.
Right.
Punk at this point is not at the speed that he used to be. So I'm very curious how the pace of this match looks. But based off some of the matches he had with Drew and some of the other matches, I think that it can be good. I thought that the Cena match was good until we started doing the run-ins.
Yeah, and this one won't have shenanigans, so they should be able to really knock it out. I mean, it might have shenanigans. Fuck. I don't know anything.
If there's no cash in, I don't see any shenanigans. I think it's gonna be
right. That's what I'm saying. Like if there's a cash in, then there'll be shenanigans. But if they're just gonna work, it should be fine.
Yeah,
and it's the main event too. You know how CM Punk does in the main event.
Yeah, but I do think that night one will end with CM Punk hoisting up that championship, and maybe unless Seth Rollins comes back and plays spoiler again.
Now I feel like we were being worked that whole time. Like it wasn't, his knee never hurt, you sons of bitches. But it would have, this cash in would have worked even if he was on TV the whole time.
Yeah. That was also a funny thing that kind of makes me feel like it's a work too, because I don't know if you saw the interview where Drew was like, well, if it's a work, what would he be working towards? Like, what would be the purpose of the work? And I'm like, why would you draw attention to that though? You don't know. A lot of things about this are very fishy.
They are.
But yeah, night 2. We have Naomi defending the Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I think this match is going to be really good. Based on the triple threat match we had at WrestleMania, you're just sliding Naomi in the spot instead of Bianca. You have Io in here, who has been on a tremendous run this year. She's had some fantastic matches this year, and I think this is going to be no different.
Yeah, this is potential to be the best match of the whole weekend because of what we saw at WrestleMania. These ladies fucking tore it apart. They're going to bring that same energy to this show. If the card is laid out how it was and this one opens night 2, they're going to fucking destroy this shit. Like, I'm really looking forward to all of these women putting it together. Hope that Naomi gets the victory here. She's up against some crazy odds. She's up against Rhea Ripley, who the game runs through, and Io, who's been on a tear. But Naomi has been doing some amazing, tremendous work. I think she could come out of this with that victory.
Yeah, I think Naomi's going to win based on the fact that Stephanie Vaquer won the chance to challenge for the belt in Paris. You kind of need a heel to go up against Stephanie, and people are not going to boo Rhea Ripley if she wins. So you need somebody like Naomi to go up against her. So I think Naomi is going to retain here. So happy that Naomi is in this spot. Great cash in at Evolution. This character has been great for her. It looks like she's having a time of her life. She came out on her little scooter thing at a kickoff show. That was very funny. Her social media stuff continues to be really, really funny. Yeah, but I think it's way too soon to take the belt off of her in general. But
yeah,
just based off the fact that you can have Rhea continue to do the chase with Io, and then you still have got some stuff with Bianca that you could play into. And then, like I said, you have the match coming up at Clash at Paris. I don't see Naomi losing.
Yeah, no, I think your Clash point is a great point, because if she's in there, if Stephanie's in there with Rhea, it's all Rhea, and you don't want that reaction and stuff in Stephanie's big moment here. So I think having Naomi in there as the heel she's been being is the way to go. So yeah, I also see Naomi getting the victory tonight. I think Rhea and Io will just cancel each other out, and Naomi will figure it out.
They might do your finish.
I know they're gonna try.
Rhea hits her finisher. Looks like she's gonna beat Io finally, and then Naomi pushes her out of the ring and gets the pin.
Hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. I know it's gonna happen though at some point this weekend.
Yes. We also got Becky Lynch taking on Lyra Valkyria for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. This is a no disqualification, no count out, last chance match. Stipulation is basically the same as their last stipulation, where if Lyra wins, if Becky wins, Lyra can no longer challenge for the title, and vice versa.
This should
sorry, it's not vice versa.
Yes,
Why did I say that?
This should be another banger. They had a great match. They've had a couple of great matches. Becky helping get Lyra established as really one to look out in. I think it's great. Unfortunate that Bayley didn't get to reap the rewards of being a part of this feud too. But I'm sure these two women's matches might be the best matches of the whole show, legit, with the stories being told behind them and the women in them.
I'm not convinced that Bayley's not going to play a part in this. I would not be surprised, based on the stipulation, if Bayley does not help Becky win.
Which I like that.
But yeah, their matches have been great this year. I think this has been one of the best feuds of the year. What it's done for the Intercontinental Championship has been really, really great. But yeah, I think Becky's going to retain here, and I would not be surprised if Bayley helps her win.
I was just laughing thinking about Lyra this week in her shoes and
Her
everybody.
little dance.
Everybody mad at Lyra's little jig she did in the ring this week.
I was like, so is she making fun of Becky's gimmick from NXT? Is that why she did that, or is she just trying to have a little fun? I don't know.
Either way, I liked it, and people are like, "Don't do that ever again." She's a heel now. I'm like, you guys are so funny. Look,
Yeah.
if she wants to rock her big Skechers to the ring, let her.
Yeah. I don't know what those shoes are, but her Becky stompers. But yeah, Lyra's been on a great run this year as well. I think the matches she's been having with Becky have really helped her. I think this program has really helped her. It's allowed her to show more personality. She's gotten to talk more, and she's a pretty good promo. And so I saw that people that were making fun of her boyfriend, fiance. To get that right, making fun of her fiance. He got a tryout. He was a part of the crop of talent that tried out this weekend. So,
yeah, I don't know the tryouts. The WWEification of everything is so overkill. People used to have these tryouts and we didn't know about them. Now it's like there's a tryout. Here's the video of the tryout. Here's a photo of them at the tryout. Here's all these things. That's like, well, what about the people that aren't going to get this? Like, how does all this? Are you guys signing all these people to ID? Like, I don't. The process, I was like, I don't really like how this is looking. But all the people a part of it are having the best time. They're loving their little social media posts. They're going to use this moving forward. It'll be great for them.
Yeah, saw a lot of them posting their pictures from the tryouts. Homeboy took the picture with Cheryl Hines. I was like, wait, why is she there? What's happening? Which is also more connection to MAGA.
Yeah, like, I was like, was the homie there too? I'm like, what the fuck kind of nasty ass tryout was that?
But of course, when I think, because initially when I saw Cheryl, I just thought Curb Your Enthusiasm. So I was like, why is she there? But then also I was like, oh yeah, I forgot her husband is. But like, yeah, man,
he might be leading the division that Triple H is there for, the Food and Health Initiative or whatever the fuck they're doing.
Maybe so.
And that guy specifically being there too with all his little videos he's been making. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah, no thanks. A lot of people that try it out though are very talented, like Burt Vickers, like some of those like signs. If you're gonna sign some of these people, like get to it.
Yeah, Eli Knight was in there, super talented kid. Like there's some talented people in there for sure, and I hope that they get it.
Yeah, they also kind of off subject of this pay-per-view, they also crowned their first WWE champions.
They did.
Based on a lot of what we saw online, I wasn't really surprised by the results because Kylie has been at the forefront. So I figured Kylie was going to win. And the same thing with homie
Cappuccino Jones.
I figured he was going to win as well because he's been kind of out and about. We've seen him a lot out of all the WWE ID wrestlers on Twitter and on social. So I kind of figured it was going to be him. And hey, if this gets them a contract or whatever, great.
Yeah, I think if you watch, I haven't been keeping up with it at all, but the WWE Evolve shot, I watched like the first 1 or 2 episodes. Immediately, they were like Cappuccino Jones. So like if you've been in tune, you kind of know that this were the way they were going. Kylie, no one should be surprised because when they announced she was a part of WWE ID, I was like, okay, I know where this is leading. When they announced the championship, I'm like, I know again where this is leading. So that wasn't surprising at all. I hope that this does lead to something great for both of them. I think Cappuccino has been really capitalizing on his moments, still has that great name. Like, I think he has a pretty high ceiling there.
Yeah. Both of them, I still don't understand why they just didn't sign them. I still don't really understand what does being a WWE ID wrestler mean, and like what's the pipeline to getting signed from here. But we'll see.
I've talked to some wrestlers about it, and I don't know if I could disclose here, but it's crazy out there. That's all I will say.
Yeah. We've got We got four more matches. Solo Sikoa will be taking on Jacob Fatu in a steel cage match for the WWE United States Championship. I think Jacob's gonna win. It made more sense for Solo to win the Night of Champions. That way you can, cement this feud and get some more matches out of it. I don't know why you would have Solo win twice.
That would be weird, especially with the fanfare and everything that Jacob has had coming into this PR run this week. Seeing him at the meet and greet, seeing him in all these interviews, I'm like, oh, they like this guy a lot. Like he understands what it is to be in this position too. I'm like, oh yeah, they're giving him a big win at SummerSlam in a steel cage match. Like this all lines up for what's going on, and he's gonna be somebody out here. Feel like I don't know if I've seen them talk about, even in their family, somebody coming out of that family like they've been talking about Jacob. You know what I mean? Like his trajectory seems fucking high, man.
We knew that coming in because he's a very good wrestler, dynamic wrestler. He just saw it. You saw it in MLW. He had the makings of a star. So we're still very happy for him that this is all working out for him.
Another one that wasn't supposed to. Like he wasn't supposed to do this. This guy was in jail.
So he should get the win here. His video was also very funny of him standing next to Punk, and he was like, "Can I get a picture with you afterwards?" And he was like, "Sure." He's like, "Yes."
I saw that. I'm like, this is why I knew Jacob was gonna cook in this company, because of that. Like, particularly how he acted in that video. I'm like, this guy is gonna fucking make it out there. And just seeing him do it now is like, yeah, of course, he just has that personality for it.
Yeah, this whole period of Punk being over there and all these people, like, man, I grew up watching you and I was a fan of you. It's so wild to see. And even when Punk's sitting there and he's like, it's just weird, man. It's so wild to see it. But
and it's like everybody too, the men and the women are all like, we fucking love CM Punk. What do you mean? Like it's always like, what do you mean? Like we ain't on none of that shit.
Yeah. Dominic Mysterio will be defending his WWE Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles. The build to this has been pretty funny. Dominic Mysterio has been saying all the time, I'm not cleared. And AJ has been hiding in all of these ridiculous ways. Like, yep, when you're cleared, though, I want that match. So the Dom thing is interesting because they just had him at the AAA show, got that big reaction when he picked up the Mega Championship, and people are already like, make this guy the Mega Champion. And so it's weird because he's treated like a baby face there, and the fan base clearly likes this guy. They clearly want more for this guy, but he's still being treated like a chicken shit heel that is avoiding wrestling. So I don't really. It just seems like there's a disconnect, and it's also to my point of why are we still doing some of this Judgment Day stuff at this point? I feel like it's been long past time to move on from Judgment Day. Just split these guys up and move on. So I want to say that AJ is going to win here, but I kind of think that Dom is going to retain.
Yeah, I feel like Dominic is bigger than the Judgment Day at this point. Like that's kind of. They're not doing enough with them having him kind of stuck in that group. That pop that he had at that AAA show, I'm like, I mean, you guys hear it and see it. Like this, the fan base has felt for a while that he's the guy. How many, like for the last 2 years, we've been seeing people be like, Dominic's the best up and comer, Dominic's the best, blah, blah, blah. And I've always been like, all right, you guys. But no, like people get it, people understand. I feel like with what you're saying of the fans, he's treated like a baby face in most places, but like they can't change him working. He'll never work as a baby face though. I think that's the thing. So they're like, well, we got to kind of keep him heel so he doesn't engage totally in the wrestling thing. So it's kind of funny, and also like he doesn't have to work like his dad. He doesn't have to do that at this point. He's a different type of wrestler. So good for him. Great to see AJ Styles at any time in a big match. SummerSlam is a thing. He threw some people for a loop yesterday when he said this could be his last SummerSlam. What the fuck you mean by that, AJ Styles? What's that supposed to mean? So I still think he's going to retire as a WWE wrestler, but still fun to think about and go with. But yeah, I think Dominic. I don't know. I don't think AJ Styles is going to beat him for his championship with how they position him at this moment. The AAA stuff is funny though, Phil. We got a little bit of news coming out of the Wrestling Observer on how they're going to start to treat this company and what WWE feels like they're going to do for the main roster. Essentially, they're going to be like WWE, a development brand in Mexico, and they're going to establish that the pops that Dom and Grande Americano and all that has been getting. It makes sense that they're going to transition into that. It's all just been so interesting.
Yeah. Seems like their plan to make NXT Mexico a thing is happening.
Wheels are in motion. Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Dom's winning here. AJ doesn't really need to win here. He's been Intercontinental Champion. Like, yeah, I think it would be fun to see him with that belt again and like do an open challenge or something. But just based on the way he's been working this year, I just don't see it.
Yeah, me neither. But again, great to see him in this position.
Yeah, I think AJ's AJ. AJ's gonna get a good match out of this. So I think it should be entertaining, but yeah, I think Dom's gonna retain. We've got a massive 6-pack TLC match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. The Wyatt Six, the team of Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, will be taking on Andrade and Rey Fenix, DIY, Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street Profits. So,
oh my god,
big, massive 6-pack match. I am very curious to see how this is going to work. This is the biggest TLC match we've ever seen. Usually, it's 2 or 3 teams, and so I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work, but if it's nearly as good as the TLC match from earlier this year, it should be good.
Phil, 12 bodies out there, ladders, tables, chairs. This is going to be fucking dangerous. And I hope that everybody's okay out there. I hope that everybody's watching their back and what's going on. These are all the fucking best tag teams in the company right here in one match. They have all the tools to make this an amazing one. The way that people have been talking about the TLC match from recently on SmackDown, not surprised that they went back to another one. Putting it on a bigger stage makes a lot of sense. Like this is everything that I would want out of this. Having a big plunder match, getting the tag team championships on there, getting all the best tag teams. This should be a great match.
Yes. I've seen people say that in a lot of ways it feels like they're doing stuff with the SummerSlam card to make up for people's criticisms of WrestleMania. And you can see that across the board with like the Intercontinental title being defended here for the women. The TLC match was one of the big criticisms last time. Because people wanted the TLC match on the WrestleMania card, and this time they're putting it here. And then, of course, Gunther CM Punk is what the main event. It just feels like now they're coming back around. Like, oh, people didn't like that. Let's fix that by SummerSlam. And so I do appreciate that the TLC match is here because that match should have been on the WrestleMania card. It is one of the best matches of this year to me. And I think with the way that the Street Profits were rolling at that point, it sucked that they didn't get to defend the belts at WrestleMania. I feel the same way with. This is another indictment on how poorly they booked the New Day as heels because they've had nothing for the New Day on any of these pay-per-views. And this is, again, a pay-per-view where they have nothing for the New Day. They're doing nothing with those titles. They're just on Judgment Day for some reason.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that like some things are getting like the fact that Chelsea Green this week was like, it's unfortunate that the Women's United States Championship isn't featured. It's like some things get to get featured, but then some things are still stuck over there. The New Day fall into that. So it's unfortunate, but it is good that people that kind of were snubbed for WrestleMania get to have a big SummerSlam moment. It's going to be a shit ton of people for both nights. So having that is great. Who's going to win this match? Why Six are just going to retain, you think?
No. This is kind of the hardest match on this card to predict for me. I could see
Yeah.
the Wyatt Six retaining because they really just won the belts.
Right.
But I could also see, because they're doing a big plunder TLC match, this is kind of a way to protect them as well.
It is.
My gut is saying that they're going to retain.
Mm-hmm. Mine too, but also
maybe this is the way you give the Street Profits the win at the pay-per-view, I would think. And you could always tell the story of they won a TLC match earlier this year, so they have the experience now. I think it's either Wyatt Six or Street Profits, but my gut is saying that Wyatt Six is going to win.
It's pretty open-ended with the stipulation and how these matches are usually worked. Somebody that we're not even talking about could, sneak away with the victory. But I don't know, with the way they've been doing the Wyatt Six and they've been really trying to push them, I feel like they might retain here.
I think so too. But the problem with if you put the belts on them, if you keep the belts on them, the way that they usually do Bray Wyatt and Wyatt Six reigns, then you have to now figure out a way how to get the belts off of them. And it feels like this match is the way to do it.
This is the way
already. So it could go either way. I kind of feel like Wyatt Six are going to retain now.
Mm-hmm.
The main event of night 2, really the centerpiece of this entire show, is John Cena defending the undisputed WWE Championship against Cody Rhodes in a street fight. The build to this has been all over the place. Cody pinned John Cena at Money in the Bank. So already he felt like he was the number one contender moving forward. Then he won a King of the Ring tournament to cement his claim as the number one contender. Called out Cena right away. Forced his signature on a contract, which I don't think that's legal, Cody. But forced his signature on a contract, and in the fine print, it is a street fight match. That segment itself is funny. Cody doing the big crossbody on him, and then getting in his face and telling him that it's a street fight. Very wrestling thing to do.
Hella wrestling.
But then the stuff last night adds a wrinkle in it because Cena hasn't been seen since that contract signing. And last week, Cody came out and he's like, I want the real John Cena back. I want to fight you at your best. I don't want to fight this version of you. Bring back the John Cena that I know. So John comes out tonight with the belt. I think that was his wife in the crowd, right? That had his shirt and cap on. He hammed it up, and it was a good promo. I'll give him credit. It was a very good promo, but I think that this guy is capping. I think this guy is lying to us. He's trying to lull Cody to sleep by saying, "Look, it's me, John Cena, the guy that you idolize. It's the guy that you wanted, right? This is what you wanted. You wanted to match with me, and you're gonna face me at my best." And all that other stuff, like, oh yeah, I came out and did this heel turn just for shock value, but all the people that are supposed to be on my team are not here anymore. They left me alone. It's just like, yeah, where's The Rock? We haven't seen him since then. Where's Travis? Haven't seen that guy. And then, like we said earlier, the reports is that there's been a falling out between WWE and him. I don't know that I believe that that's entirely true. I don't know that I believe that he's actually turned the corner, because he still has about 13 appearances left.
He's still here till December.
Yes. Do I believe they're going to take the belt off of him now and have him for the rest of this time just doing the babyface Cena thing, showing up, shaking hands, kissing babies? That sounds a little bit too easy. I don't know about that. Yeah, there's other aspects of this. Like it seems like they could be teeing up a double turn based on certain things that Cody has been saying in the build to this. He's been saying all along, I'm not going to flinch this time. I had the win, and I didn't just take the win because, which is hilarious, because the whole story between him and Kevin Owens is, I'm not going to flinch even though you're my friend. This guy destroyed this guy in Royal Rumble, put him through a table, celebrated over his dead body, both belts in the air, and then he gets to this match with Cena. It's like, oh no, John Cena's like, oh, don't hurt me, don't hurt me, bro, don't tase me, bro.
And he's like, actually, I got all this sympathy. I would never cross the line doing that. Yeah, this buildup has been hilarious. I'm like, the only reason I feel like this could be a ruse is because they couldn't be that dumb to do all this heel turn and then be like, actually, just kidding. I'm like, there's no way you could be like,
psych,
just kidding.
That's the wrong number.
Yeah,
no.
that would not be the way to end this heel turn. As he comes out and he's like, actually, Cody, you're going to get the best John Cena there was. And you know who's going to really benefit from this? Not us, the fans. So, no, I don't believe it. I
don't believe you, John.
Don't believe you at all.
It is really crazy how quickly he turned it on, though, and went right back to the Cena we always knew. And it worked. The crowd fell for it. I just don't believe you, John.
Now, the crowd was ready for that, for sure.
I think that he is think he's trying to lull Cody to sleep and trying to get him to trust him. And I think he's gonna low blow this guy again. He's going to beat him. Do you think we see Travis here or no?
I'm like, why would we be hearing about? We haven't heard about anything about Travis for a couple of months at this point. And then this week they're like, oh no, actually there was this big falling out. I'm like, why would this week leading into SummerSlam would they be like, oh, actually there's this falling out? I feel like we could. And then for the fact that like Cena, like you said on the promo, Cena's like, everybody left me, where are those fools at? I'm like, okay, this is probably a thing to add some heat to what's going to go on. Drew McIntyre talking about Travis recently too. I'm like, these all kind of feel like things that could lead to Travis coming back. But also wrestling is like that. He could have came in and been like, fuck all y'all, I'm moving in this way. So I don't know what to believe.
The idea of them all back there listening to the Clips album, like, why do you have this guy here? This guy, get Travis up out of here, bro.
Somebody watched that clip of Push talking about Wyoming or whatever, and they're like, Travis do be kind of moving with that energy. I don't know. Hilarious. Is there a world that Cody beats him?
I don't think Cody's gonna win.
No?
It's possible. If Cody turned heel, which I don't know why you would possibly turn this guy heel. This guy's one of the hottest babyface you have right now. Why on earth would you do that?
Don't.
If he turns heel, I think Cody's gonna win because you gotta justify the turn. But I think they're trying to get us to believe that Cody could turn heel because it's gonna go the other way, and John is either going to cheat again to win, or we're getting a cash in.
Because Cody was talking about it in the media. That also was like trying to throw us off. This week, he was like, there were some heel talks this week. He did a thing where he said, if he were to turn heel, these are the things that he would do, and this is how it would work. But Cody is fucking white hot, you guys. Like, it isn't the time. It wouldn't enhance his story like it does. If you got a baby face like this, dog, you fucking ride that thing out. If there's a point where your fans in the building are telling you maybe, but your fans in the building are not telling you to turn Cody Rhodes at all. 0%.
No, your crowd still loves this guy. The only way I can see this not being a swerve is that you're trying to build up equity in him turning the corner so that when Seth cashes in on him, people feel bad for him.
The cash in does change a lot too, because I feel like if Cody turns heel, then you can't do the like that's that moment. You don't want to muddy that moment, though, right?
Yeah. Why? I mean, just in general, if you're treating this like, oh, we're getting the match we thought we were going to get at WrestleMania of John Cena just at his peak, still being a babyface against Cody, who's also a babyface, and then Seth Rollins comes in and ruins the moment, then that's going to get heat on Seth.
Yeah.
And so that maybe that's why he did the whole "I'm back" last night, guys. But either
Okay,
way, I
I
don't
see
think
that.
Cody's gonna win. I think it makes all the sense in the world for Seth to cash in and be like, "Yeah, I'm saving wrestling from this guy." You really believe that guy? This guy took the belt and he kept the belt hostage all this year, and you guys are gonna believe him because he came out and cut one promo. It fits with everything he's been saying since last year. Like, oh, you guys believe Roman now because he come back and nothing has changed. He's the same person. Cena's the same person. Cody's the same person. All of these people suck. I'm saving wrestling from these losers.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that aspect of if the Cena turn is real and he is back to babyface, that does give Seth two targets to then he could cash in on both guys to get heat.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
But I
and
think that Cena's just gonna win and still be world champion leaving out of this because we got more time.
yeah, I think the fact that it's unpredictable is good. There's a chance we can get a cash in. There's a chance we could see Travis. Um, Cena gave the line that the only platinum rapper that's showing up to beat you at SummerSlam is me, and I chuckled to myself and I was like, "What if Cardi comes down and low blows him?" That's the end of SummerSlam. Her raising Cena's hand. If it's up, 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 then it's stuck.
That's how they throw us off. As Cena was like, "No, I'm gonna plant the seed for a different platinum rapper to come in here, and it's Cardi." If it's up, if it's up. If that's how SummerSlam ended, that'd be so fucking funny.
That would be hilarious, bro.
Yeah, this could go either way. We legit could see Cody or Cena as world champion or Seth as world champion coming out of this. And I think that's a pretty good problem to have.
Yeah, I do think this is going to be better than the WrestleMania match. The bar is pretty low because that match was terrible. I hope that it's better. This has the makings with you doing the plunder and everything around it for it to be a solid match. And I think that Cody's smart enough that he's seen the reception to that match that he would want to put on a better match here. This again, like I said with the Punk match, I don't know what the pace of this is going to be. I don't know what this match looks like, but
these guys aren't. That's not going to be faster than the WrestleMania match. That's for sure. It's just going to be different. These guys are still going to be working at a turtle's pace, but I'm sure that it's going to be some different elements added into it. The fact that it's ending the whole show, that also, like, I'm like, Travis, there's a bunch of reasons why Travis could be there and the way that this could play out. So,
I don't want to say, do we see Dwayne here? Do we see The Rock?
Again, the fact that Cena brought him up is, and if I'm non-kayfabe, The Rock watching this week, I'm pulling up.
Yeah,
because y'all talking too much shit. I got to show y'all what's up.
Yeah, I don't think we see The Rock. I think that is the least plausible outcome here.
The only reason is I don't think we really need to.
Well, that's what he told you guys. We don't need the final boss anymore.
We don't need
he told y'all that back in April.
He just gracefully bowed out, Phil. Gracefully.
I still think that's the funniest thing ever. He's like, "Yeah, look, I got it rolling. I got it off the shore. I pushed the boat out. You don't need me anymore. Sails up. We're sun's out. Everything's fine. You don't need final boss anymore. I'm going over here now. See you later."
Listen, gracefully bowed out like a gentleman. He doesn't want the spotlight. He wants them to have the spotlight.
Yeah, that's the SummerSlam card. I believe Sean will be doing the post show here on Fightful's YouTube channel for both nights. If you have any sports betting needs, mybookie.com is the place to go for all of your sports betting and pro wrestling needs. I think that there is odds out already on a cash in for this. So if you think that Seth Rollins will show up tonight, should make your bet on mybookie.com. Use Fightful's code, and I believe you get a deposit bonus as well. It's one of those. If you deposit $50, you get 50% of what you deposit. Those I've done a lot of sports betting, and those are always funny to me because it's like, yeah, put some money in here, and and we'll give you more money. Keep betting. It's wild where we are with gambling. I guess I shouldn't be saying that with our sponsor being mybookie.com, but it is wild just how much sports betting has changed. And like it used to be a thing where I know people that used to call somebody that lived in Vegas to make the bet for them in Vegas on a sports book. And now you could just bet anywhere on a sports book.
Yeah, that used to be a bit as you had to call down to make the thing. Now it's like you can go anywhere. With how it's just so crazy that pro wrestling is now up for sports betting, because they could change that shit at any moment. Like they could be having a match that is blah blah blah. There's 1 minute left, and they could go into the referee's ear and say, change the fucking finish, and they could change the finish. Anything like that could be betted on is just so interesting to me. But get yours in. Maybe piggyback off some of our predictions here and make some money out there.
Yeah. According to my bookie, Seth Rollins is not expected to cash in based on the odds. So if you think that those odds are wrong, you can make your bet on my bookie.
It would just be so interesting if they were using this whole strategy as a surprise to trick us into thinking that Seth Rollins is not going to be there, but everybody just thinks he's going to be there. So it's like, is that really a surprise if everybody just thinks it's going to be there? Because our prediction's that he could be on either one of the title matches.
Yes. The odds are also that CM Punk is going to win his match. Of course, the odds are Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, and the odds are on, John Cena is the betting underdog to retain the WWE Championship.
I'm like trying to think of which one of those I would take. Cena, maybe? I think Cena could. I don't think he's much as an underdog as they giving up.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I do think there's a very good chance that he could end up losing to Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
But yeah, use code Fightful. If you deposit $50, you get $100. If you deposit $100, get $200.
That's what's up. Money.
Send us your super chats. That's the best way to get your chats read here. You can also send us your Humber chats. Humberchats.com/Fightful.
Yes, sir. Let's get into a few more super chats and Humper chats before we move forward. The homie Monkey D Cam says, bizarre times we're in, brother. Just wanted to hop in and show some love on Grapsody Day. Appreciate that, homie. Thank you for the generous super chat. Thank you for supporting, and thank you for being with us today. The times are, I continuously tell people that it feels like we're in the Twilight Zone. We're in some different kind of bizarro universe, and like I'm just waiting for somebody to say it out loud. Because I don't know what this is, Phil. Appreciate that. Ben Sniffner says, do you guys think Cody could ever be the number one guy in AEW if he went back? I don't. He could.
Yes. I think if he went back, he absolutely could.
Yeah.
Because I think he's a bigger star now than he was before he left.
Perfect way to put it. I think like he was destined to be the number one guy in the company when he was there, but now he's in a different place, a different world. He exists as a different person in the pro wrestling space. I think he would be the number one guy. And the people being like he couldn't come back because he'd get booed, I don't think that's a thing either.
No.
Ben also says, I meant QB1, maybe like the beginning.
Yeah, I definitely think he could show up over there and be number one guy for sure. With the level of stardom he's at now, like, yeah, for sure. And people being like, oh, he couldn't show up. And even if y'all think he's going to show up and be booed, he could show up and be the top heel in the company easily.
Also, yeah, which is worth pretty much the same. So, yeah, I think he could come and harness all that and be like, yeah, you guys should be booing me into being something else. So, yeah, it'll work. Appreciate that, Ben. Coy Stalling says, I'm sick of the Bailey disrespect. What more does she have to do? She does everything asked for her. Come on over and join Mercedes, please.
Maybe, but yeah, I would not be surprised if she turns heel and helps Becky win on night 2. I think that's kind of a mistake with the baby face that they have in Bailey. I still don't think that they have really capitalized on her as a baby face on the main roster. It shouldn't be this hard. I don't understand why they're making it harder than it really needs to be, but yeah, I don't know.
They're making it so hard.
And I would be surprised if some of this, like people feeling she's disrespected, is the build to her turning heel, because she's gonna feel justified when she helps Becky win.
Because if anything, she has a bucket, a list of things that she could say are the reasons. Like she's been close to so many positions, close to so many big moments, and it's always gets snatched right from under her. Like she has all the makings to be a big villain, but then she continuously gets so over as a babyface, and fans just love her. She has that built-in love from everybody that even like you could also not, you know. And if she does join Mercedes, that would be amazing. But you know, people are locked in over there. It's their dream to work the WWE. Appreciate that, Coy.
Yeah,
that's all of our super chats.
We've got G1 Climax this week. G1 is still going on. That is part of this discourse around the Forbidden Door build, which we'll get into in a sec. But G1 is still running. I think the wrestling itself has been really good. There's been a lot of discourse around New Japan and like the ticket sales and where they are as a company. And I guess I just always figured this was going to happen because you lost your top guy. It was always going to be a rebuilding phase when you lose a star the level of Okada. You weren't going to just be able to just recover from that as quickly as people assumed. And then there's so many other things happening, like Naito leaving, and even like some of the rumblings around him leaving that he didn't want to leave. He just wanted to take some time off to deal with some of his injuries. And it's an interesting time for the company, but people acting like, oh, New Japan is basically dead in the water. I don't feel like it's dead in the water. I think, like I said, the matches itself and the shows have been decent. The only show this year I didn't really care for was Dominion.
Yeah, that's what my biggest takeaway from this has been, like watching a bunch of G1 matches and the way that people are working. The action is great. Like the people, the matches are amazing. They have great storytelling. Like if you want some New Japan pro wrestling, Japanese heavyweight shit, like it's giving you all those things. It's just all the extracurriculars that are going on. Like you said, Phil, it's hard. The people don't understand. One, they put like all of their eggs essentially in the Okada basket. Like that was like, we're gonna go for the next 20 years with this guy as our top star. Like G1 was built around him. The championships were built around, like this was his company. To lose him. And another thing people don't realize, Phil, it's not easy to make new stars. Like people are just like, hey, make new stars. It doesn't work like that. You can't just say this guy or these people are going to be the next ones up and they're the next ones up. There's so much that goes into that. We see it with Shota. We see it with a couple of these other Musketeers. They're trying. They want to make it the next star, but just saying you want this person to be the next star make the fans want them to be the next star? It doesn't really work like that. There's a lot of mountains they had to climb to try to get back to a position that they were in, because they've lost a bunch of people that were the tent poles and the stalwarts and the reason that this company functioned. So they're just trying to recover. But like you're saying, the action's so great. It's like they get it in ring. It's like they just have to figure it up in other avenues.
Yeah. Like night 7, we got some more of the blockade matches. Got Yota Tsuji versus Oleg, which is a solid match. We got Sonata versus Taichi. Sonata in this current iteration with like he just keeps coming out with wilder outfits. Now he's changed his hair. He's got like these leopard spots in his hair. I don't know what Sonata's doing.
He's having an identity crisis for sure. Like you were saying a couple weeks ago, the Inoki Sonata wasn't really the way to go. This trying to figure out what his personality or go wilder with the clothes. I like it because it's showing some personality, at least. It is showing like there's not just a wrestling machine inside this guy. He could actually be something.
Yeah, he came out from one of those shows with the big disco ball outfit on. What a guy, man. Yu Amura took on Evil. It was the Evil match. The real story from Night 7, I think, was Ryohei Oiwa versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Again, another Tanahashi farewell tour match that was much better than I expected to be. Tanahashi came out in the first match of the tournament that he had, and he picked up a win, and people were like, oh, wait, Tanahashi might be stabbing it. It's like, no, most of these are just him putting over future guys and highlighting how good they are. And I think that's the best use of him in this tournament, because you gave Oiwa a win over him, and you showed where Oiwa is. Also got a good match out of Yuya Amura recently as well. And I think that's the way to go. And the fact that Tanahashi is having good matches with these wrestlers, though, what a feat, man. Because at one point he was struggling. I mean, we've said this before, like it looked like it's time. It looked like it's time to hang it up. But what a farewell tour this has been for him.
Yeah, I think it's doing so many things beyond just like we get to see Tanahashi for the last year. We get to enjoy him as a pro wrestler. But the way he's been specifically in this tournament, Phil, putting over all the guys that he should put over, but doing it so gracefully and looking like he could still go has been awesome. I think it's been a confidence builder for all the guys that have get to showcase themselves against Tanahashi in his last year. They get to have that on their resume. It's in the G1 against him. There's so many confidence building things for the future of the company, and him and as a president being able to do that, I think is so awesome. This whatever little extra pep in his step that he's had for this is showing, man. Like the confidence through both guys in the matches he's in is so great.
Yeah. We got some Block B matches on night 8. Great O'Khan took on El Fantasmo. El Fantasmo has been really fun to watch in this tournament this year. Drilla Maloney took on Ren Narita. Drilla is another guy that he's been a blast to watch. Just comes out there, hits people with his nasty looking finisher. Big, massive guy. Look, he looks like $1 million. Big fan of Drilla so far. But yeah, really,
he got crazy confidence going into this tournament and the way that he's been working it.
Yeah, big fan of Drilla. But really, the last 2 matches were the best matches on this show. Shota Umino took on Shingo Takagi. Shota in this tournament has wrestled much better than he did in last year's tournament.
Yes.
And that's partially because he was injured last year. He's dealing with that. And then I just think like he's just been improved with the way he throws them lariats, bro. Like the lariats in this match were crazy, bro.
Dog, I've been waiting for Shota I always harken back to that. I watched him and Moxley in Ontario, and I was like, Shota's got to start throwing them things. Like, he got to start throwing these strikes, dude. When's he going to start doing it? In this tournament, brother. I don't know. Somebody was like, look, that lariat, you got to fucking put some stank on it. He's been putting some stank on every one of them lariats. And his forearm strikes, too. I'm like, adding a little bit mass to his body and feeling like a big heavyweight wrestler has really helped him improve.
Yes. Yeah, this was a great match. Shingo has had a rough tournament so far. This match in particular, it went all the way to head. Shingo put on a great performance against Shota, but Shota picked up the win here. He's already ahead. I believe he has 6 points in Block B. Why am I guessing? I can look it up.
Yeah, Shingo, he's been having great performances throughout the tournament, but he just can't get that victory, man. I don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, I'm wrong. Shota is in a tie with Yoshihashi, who still leads B Block right now, Ren Narita, Zack Sabre Jr., and Konosuke Takeshita, and Drilla Maloney with all 8 points apiece.
Bro say Yoshihashi. That's a real thing, man.
Yoshihashi been balling, man. He been hooping. But yeah, I thought that this was a really impressive showing from Shota. I still think they've got to figure out what exactly his character is and figure out what the direction for him is. But he's been having some really good matches in this tournament, in my opinion. Shingo is Shingo. Shingo is one of the guys, you put him in there, he's going to have great matches with whoever.
Almost a guaranteed one with Shingo.
Yeah, I thought he put on a tremendous performance here. Main event, man. Main event of night 8 was really, really good. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Konosuke Takeshita. Konosuke Takeshita has come into this tournament as kind of the favorite to win. Zack has had a rough early start as last year's winner. And so Zack came into this match with a chip on his shoulder. Like, nah, y'all think this guy's going to win? Y'all think this guy's going to come into this company and just win and potentially wrestle me at some point and take my title? No, that's not how this is going to go. He wrestled with a lot of fire in this match. Takeshita is Takeshita. This guy is just incredible. I mean, his strikes, his timing, this guy is just so good, man. I mean, it almost feels like we overhyped this guy, but man, he's just so good. This match was really, really good. I really loved the finish of it, of Zack getting on his back and locking in the sleeper hold, and Takeshita's trying to do everything to get this guy off him. He's raising up to his feet, slamming and doing the backdrops, trying to get it off of him. At one point, he goes all the way up to the top rope, jumps off the top rope with him on his back, trying to slam him to get him off, and he's still just hanging on to this guy with dear life, holding in a sleeper. He gets him up into the electric chair position, and it looks like he's going to try and slam him out of it. And Zack just holds on and rolls him back into the sleeper hold. And Takeshita eventually has to tap out. And Zack, being Zack, is talking his shit afterwards. Like, what you think? You may be the alpha, but I am still the IWGP World Heavyweight champion, dickhead. Fuck out of here.
This is what I love about the story of Zack Sabre in this tournament, because he talked a lot of shit coming into this, rightfully so, saying what his position was going to be in here. But he hasn't been undefeated. He's had some trouble with a couple of different opponents. But when he gets into someone that could potentially beat him for his heavyweight championship, he turns on a different kind of beast. He turns into, I'm the fucking world champion here, and I'm not going to let you come in here in my house and do this. Takeshita, the best thing about Takeshita is no matter the moment, no matter the opponent, no matter the show, no matter what the situation is, he's always the same. He has the same mission objective. Come in here, knock your fucking head off. He's going to put you into uncomfortable positions. He's going to not clothesline the shit out of you. He's going to get you off your game. He's going to drop you hard as he can to try to make you figure out that you're not the wrestler that you are. But Zack Sabre Jr. is just on a different level right now as the world champion. I think this was a preview for something we're going to see, though, Phil, with how these guys were interacting. And I think they didn't get into the fifth gear like they totally could.
Yeah, and I think the story here of Zack being like, I am currently the flag bearer for this company. You think you could just come in? It's almost what Gabe is saying, but in a different way. Like, yeah, even if you think you can come in here and challenge for this belt and potentially win it, you got to get past me. And Zack has been saying that since last year in the G1, where he's like, yeah, y'all think this is a transition period. This is a period for the new Three Musketeers to showcase who they are, but y'all still have to get through me. I'm still the guy. This is still the age of the Saber. You're not just going to beat me.
Yeah. This is so funny that you mentioned about Takeshita earlier, because I was thinking maybe we do overrate him. Sometimes, like, I swear, when he has his entrance, I'm like, maybe this guy isn't the guy that we think he is. And then the match starts, and then about 5 minutes in, I'm like, oh yeah, he is. Like, he could be AEW world champion fucking tomorrow. He could be IWGP world champion tomorrow. Like, this guy understands what it is to be a great pro wrestler, and he's just getting better.
Yeah. Zack's promo afterwards was phenomenal as well. It was almost a Bryan Danielson promo where he's like, nope, all I care about is this championship and not eating fucking animals. I fucking love this guy, man. And he's made the point of, yeah, I started slow, but now the tournament starts for me. Everybody's on notice, and really, from this guy at this point on, he hasn't lost. He's really turned it on since then.
That's how you kick it into high gear. There's a couple of wrestlers that we know, the beginning of the G1, they're either trying to figure it out or they just get started midway and going into the end of this tournament, and Zack Sabre was going to be one of those guys. Has an extra fire this week and the rest of the tournament. He's not going to lose too many more of these.
Yes. Yeah. Night 9, we got some blockade matches. Callum Newman took on Sonata. Evil took on Oyowa. David Finlay, who's also been having a rough go of it in this tournament, which I think is going to play into some storyline stuff as well, based on some of the backstage stuff we've seen. He did pick up a win over Oleg, much needed win for him because he has been having a rough go. Tai Chi also picked up a win over Yota Tsuji. Really fun match. Yuya Mura versus Hiroshi Tanahashi was the main event for night 9. Really fun match. Really enjoy watching Yuya wrestle. This is the run that I wanted to see him in the G1 last year. He unfortunately had that injury that really stopped him from taking part in the latter half of the tournament. But so far, he's been one of the guys to watch in this tournament.
Yeah, I didn't know coming in like Tsuji, and I was hoping that Shota was going to step it up. What the future and the young guys were going to do. Yuya was, I feel like he keeps showing glimpses of brilliance the last year or so, and things that he's done has shown that he should be in this position. But particularly the few weeks coming into this returning and coming into this tournament, he's been working like he can fucking win this thing. Like he could be the future of the company. Like he should be the one that people are talking about. Getting a big match with Tanahashi and a big win over Tanahashi. I mean, I think it really shows what he represents in this tournament and the future of this company. I think he's a big player for real.
Yeah, this was the rematch. Of course, I was very confused to why Yuya lost to Tanahashi at Dominion. And so coming into this match, Yuya had
that was a confusing one.
Yeah, Yuya had something to prove here, picked up the win against Tanahashi. I thought he cut a good promo afterwards where he said, I lost to you before, and I said I would come back better and beat you. And now I want to go beyond that. I want to be better than you. I want to lift this company up better than you did. And that's what you need out of one of these young guys that you're trying to build into a new star. Yep. And I think that's going to help him. And like we said, Tanahashi giving him the win, giving him the rub, and making him look like a guy that you need to be watching going forward, and giving him that spotlight afterwards. That's the best use of Tanahashi in this tournament.
That's what, like, him becoming president and doing I'm not going to tell you about these guys. I'm going to show you with myself why these guys are great. I think it's so awesome.
And he's done that with all of the guys that you should be having earmarked right now for this year. He gave Gabe a big match earlier this year. He's had the match with Yuya here. He had a Takeshita match that was fire. Windy City Riot. Multiple guys he's now shown you like these are the guys. And that's kind of why I'm like, when people are like they haven't done a great job of building new talent, I don't think that's necessarily true. I just think that it's a process and people aren't being patient enough to let it run its course.
Right. Because it hasn't been that long since they lost Okada, since they lost Naito, since they lost Ospreay, since they lost all these guys. You don't rebuild this shit in 6 months to a year. Like it takes some time to establish what the new entire direction of your company is going to be.
Yeah, and they lost Okada very abruptly. They didn't have the time to do what they're doing with Tanahashi, where Okada may have put some people over on the way out. And so you've got to now do all of that work now that Okada's gone. And it's different than starting that work while Okada's still here.
It was so funny, the end of Okada's run where people were saying he wasn't putting people over, but it was like, it was so abrupt. They were moving at a pace they didn't expect to be.
Yes. This morning we got night 10. I thought we had some very solid matches this morning as well. Got 4 B block matches. Shota Umino took on Yoshihashi, picked up the win to get his 8th point. He is now tied with Yoshihashi for a top spot. Still wild that Yoshihashi's in the top spot.
Makes me laugh every time.
Shingo Takagi took on El Fantasma. Shingo picked up a much needed win here. I feel like LP needed this win as well because he's had some big showings, but he hasn't had the wins to back it up. So both of these guys really needed a win. Shingo picked up the win, but LP was fantastic in this match. He really worked his ass off trying to get this win. It felt very unfortunate, almost like the Zack Sabre match with him as well, where LP had a great match. He just could not get past Zack.
That's funny that it's against Shingo too, because Shingo's been in that same position of like almost to the victory, close as you can get, but can't get it. And they're both needed, but they're both playing a really good position in the tournament of you're almost going to get a guaranteed really good one against either of these guys in it.
Yes. Konosuke Takeshita versus Drilla Maloney was also very good. Like I said, Drilla Maloney has been incredible to watch. He was tremendous in this match. He gave Takeshita all he had, but Takeshita picked up the win. Drilla did not look like a loser coming out of this match, though, man. He looked fantastic.
Where is your place at with Takeshita winning this tournament? Are you still there?
He still might pick to win.
Yeah. It's looking like it. He has that confidence. He's really doing it out there.
Yeah, some of the stories they're telling with him throughout this tournament is leading in that direction. I still think there's a possibility that we could get the Gabe match at the Dome as well, but I don't know. I kind of feel like he's winning.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
he's not a New Japan wrestler. I mean, he is a New Japan wrestler, but he's also an AEW wrestler. It's just
he signed with New Japan.
He is a New Japan wrestler, but it just seems wild, you know?
Yeah. The main event was Zack Sabre Jr. versus Great Khan. Really, really good match as well. They played up the Zack Sabre Jr. is a technical wrestler. Great Khan, established amateur wrestler. And so they worked that style in this match. They played off of, Great Khan has always had the potential, but he's played into like these wacky gimmicks. He was doing the King of Pro Wrestling thing at one point, and then he started taking it more serious coming into the G1 last year, and that played into the story here. Of course, last year he had the matches with Naito. He ended up challenging Naito for the championship. And so he still has not beat Zack Sabre Jr. though. And so Zack coming into this was like, oh yeah, he's got all this potential, but the same energy came into the Takeshita match, which is the best energy for this guy of, no, I'm the champion. I don't care what potential this guy has. I'm going to beat this guy. They had a very fun match. Lot of mat-based wrestling, but Zack Sabre picked up the win and then proceeded to talk shit about the guy afterwards. Like, yeah, that's the potential we wanted to see out of this guy. He finally lived up to some of that potential, but still not enough to beat him. What a guy.
Dickhead Zack Sabre Jr., man. You can't beat him, dude. When he's just in this mode, world champion mode, tying guys up, and living with the confidence of none of these guys can beat me. I don't care about potential. I don't care about what you think the future of this company is. I'm here now. I'm the champion, and I'm going to beat all the guys that you love. I'm like, man, I wish him and Bryan Danielson could just wrestle 1,000 matches together, because this is the confidence you want to see in that type of setting.
Yeah, but some really fun spots here, like Great Khan using the claw he does, kind of like the Iron Claw, to set up the Eliminator, which is his finish. He kept trying to set that up, and then Zack would use his momentum and turn that into an arm bar. And just some of the sequences they had with that and the counters were really cool. Feels like Zack is going to be a big part of the last stretch of this tournament, which I would assume as champion. I think Walker was saying on commentary that this is the slowest start for any IWGP World Heavyweight Champion coming into the tournament. And so I think at one point he looked around and felt like, nah, wait a minute. I'm losing? One of the few points I have is from Gabe Kidd because he forfeited his match. No. We can't let this stand.
And he doesn't want to be attached to a stat like Walker would give up of the slowest start. Like, he came into this being like, I'm the champion and I'm not going to let being champion get me off of my game. And it looked like it might have got him off of the game to start it. So getting back into that mode of not only am I in this, but I want to fucking win this still too is very important, I think, for the character.
Yes. The standings so far in Block A, Yota Tsuji has 8 points. He is in a 3-way tie with Yuya Amuro and Evil. Right below them is Taichi, Bolin Oleg, Ryohei Oiwa, Callum Newman. They all have 6 points apiece. Hiroshi Tanahashi, David Finlay, and Sonata are all at the bottom with 4 points. In the B block, Yoshihashi ahead of the pack with 8 points. He is in
ahead of the pack.
Well, he's tied. He's in a tie with Ren Narita, Shota
Mhm.
Umino, Zack Sabre Jr., Konosuke Takeshita, Drilla Maloney, and Great Khan. They all have 8 points. Shingo Takagi is right below them with 6 points. El Phantasma has 4 points. He is close to elimination for the tournament. And of course, at the very bottom of the B block is Gabe Kidd because he had to withdraw.
He's out. Yeah. Damn, sending out love again to Gabe Kidd. Unfortunate. He was poised to have a pretty big tournament here and play a big role there.
Yes. Trying to see what are the matches because I believe we have one. We have a show tonight.
Mhm.
Well, in the morning.
Yes.
That's right. Night 11 is August 3rd.
Mhm.
We've got the preview tag matches. We've got 5 preview tag matches. Then we have 5 A block matches. Calvin Newman will be taking on Bolden Oleg. Tai Chi will be taking on Ryohei Oiwa. Sonata will be taking on Yuya Omura in a rematch. Evil will be taking on David Finlay in another rematch. That should be very interesting how that plays out. And the main event will be Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on Yota Tsuji.
Yes, that should be another Tanahashi putting over the young up-and-coming superstar, and I think it should bang.
Yes. Fun tournament so far. I think outside of like some of the talk about how poorly the tickets have been selling and like some of the talk of building new stars, it sucks because they were in such a good place with the business and when Goto was champion and then Goto got injured and some of the stuff that happened there. It's unfortunate. I don't think that it's gloom and doom like some people are making it out to be, though.
No, the talks that I'm seeing, the New Japan's down and bad and out and all this stuff, I'm like, no, that's a little too much. They're just still in the transition phase. I think people thought they were gonna get out of it quicker. I don't know why, and they're beyond that. They're still doing pretty good business for what it is, you know.
Yeah, that played a part into the talks about the bill for Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door is coming up this month. It is August officially. Later this month, we will be seeing Forbidden Door take place at the O2 Arena in London, England. So far, the 2 matches that have been announced are AEW matches. We got the official announcement that Athena will be challenging Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship, and Swerve Strickland will be taking on Kazuchika Okada for the Unified Championship. Both banger matches. Those are big matches announced for this show. Already excited based off those 2 matches, but people are already talking about how this is not a good sign for the partnership with New Japan because where does New Japan play into this? I mean, there's only 2 matches, so I assume we're going to get more New Japan stuff on this card, but also just the timing of they're doing the build in the middle of the G1. That doesn't bode well. And just where the company is. I mean, AEW, it's not just that they lost their biggest star in Okada. AEW has their biggest star in Okada. So it just kind of changed the footing that both of these companies are on. And like I said, I think people are running with this. Oh, well, there aren't any New Japan shows announced so far because and New Japan wrestlers announced so far for this card because New Japan sucks right now, which is not true.
That's not true.
Like in terms of like the match quality, New Japan is still good, and there are still guys over there that you put them on this card with AEW wrestlers, and they're gonna have great matches.
I mean, pretty much everybody that we described, Tsuji, Yuya, Shingo. There's a bunch of guys that I want to see in big matches at big moments. That wasn't a great sign for me when I knew that it was going to be going on during G1 time because New Japan don't fuck around. When it's G1 time, it's G1 time. They're not going to be focused on anything else. They're not going to be trying to co-promote things at that time. They're focused on one of the biggest things of their entire year. So when they were doing it at the same time, I was like, oh, that's an interesting take. And the way that they've been, we haven't seen any, they haven't talked about New Japan. They haven't talked to like, they haven't been talking about Takeshita being in the G1. Like, it's like, it just is weird. Dude, Does it have? How am I trying to frame this? Does New Japan have to be involved for this to be called Forbidden Door still?
Yes, because the entire start of the concept came from New Japan. It originated from something that Tanahashi said, that he wants to be the guy that opens that Forbidden Door,
right,
and wrestles on an AEW card or challenges for the AEW World Championship. So it isn't Forbidden Door if you're not including the partnership. But at the same time, I think that it is a bit premature to act like, oh, this is not Forbidden Door at all, because we got 2 matches announced and there aren't New Japan wrestlers in it. It's 2 matches. Like when we see the whole card, then I think we can judge properly. But I think people are jumping to conclusions pretty quick, and I think based off of people jumping to conclusions, some of the discourse and criticism of New Japan has been really weird. And you also have people like, oh, well, New Japan is where they are because AEW is slowly killing them and taking all their talent, which is like, yeah.
I think some of the stuff, it could be worth something, but I don't think that this is happening because they killed because the AEW killed New Japan, or because New Japan is pissed at AEW for stealing Okada and all that. I think these are all just circumstances. I think like Okada wanted to be an American wrestler. I think all these things just kind of happened how they happened. It's crazy because we're talking about this, and the 2 matches that you said are announced are fucking crazy. Like Okada and Swerve, like that still feels like a Forbidden Door match, even though Okada works for the company. Like that's the kind of vibes when they announced this concept initially. Like that's the type of match where we were like, damn, it'd be great to see Okada against some of these guys. And it's crazy that you could still kind of work on that. And then on the other side, Athena and Toni Storm is like, we've been wanting Athena to be on the main roster for years at this point. We've wanted her to be in this position for so long. And they've announced the match. It's a title match. It's all the things that we've wanted, but that one doesn't feel as Forbidden Door as the Okada and Swerve match.
Right. I do think it's a little bit funny that before these 2 matches were announced, people were like, okay, where's this Forbidden Door build? Where are the matches? And the matches were announced. It's like, oh, this is what New Japan is doing. They're not doing anything. There's no partnership. The build for both of these matches has really been going on for weeks. They've been building to the Toni Storm match with Athena since All In. Yep. And you can make the argument they've been building to the Swerve Okada match for a little bit longer than that, because they started the stuff with him and the EVPs earlier this year. And so this was the logical next step for that, especially once you had Swerve finish up the storyline with the Bucks and finish up some of his grudges. You should get him back in the title picture, challenging for one of the main titles. And so this match made a lot of sense. But I also understand people like, okay, where are the New Japan matches here? I just think, again, it's a little premature to be saying that. When we get a full card, again, we can revisit this conversation. But some people are acting like, oh, this isn't a partnership at all. And it's like they just had a massive show at Tokyo Dome earlier this year.
And like, also, I guess I was asking the New Japan because there's like also the CMLL partnership, and they got some things in other places. Like this could still be a Forbidden Door type stuff, even if the main focus isn't New Japan. I think the main focus should be New Japan. And I also have questions as to why they haven't had any involvement going into this, but I don't think it's an end all be all. They maybe should just change the name if this is what we're going to do though.
Do you think we're getting to a place with them doing a show as a part of Wrestle Kingdom weekend, like Wrestle Dynasty, and then still doing Forbidden Door, where Forbidden Door is really for the AEW fan base? And like, yeah, it's the build and have some New Japan wrestlers on it, but it feels like more so a show like Wrestle Dynasty in Japan is more built off of the New Japan audience.
Yeah, that I haven't even been figuring that into what I've been saying here today. I forgot about Wrestle Dynasty. That was essentially fucking a Forbidden Door show in Japan, and it felt like on a bigger stage. It's in the dome. It's all these things. I I think there's a bunch of factors as to why the Forbidden Door concept doesn't work like it initially worked. I mean, again, like we're talking about, Okada and Naito and all these players are gone from New Japan. A big draw of that was seeing those crossover things, and them having their own Forbidden Door, I think, plays in a role. There's also that thing, Phil, of when Forbidden Door was, when it was initially announced and New Japan was fully involved, there were a bunch of AEW fans that did not care. It works just like the ROH thing. It's like, no matter how attached they are, you could say this is AEW's ROH. There's a bunch of fans that only want to see AEW wrestlers doing AEW things. Like, even there's fans that don't watch New Japan and they don't care no matter who the person was coming across. And that, I think that's going to continue to be a thing.
Right. So we'll see. I think some of the discourse, like you're saying, I think some of the discourse is premature, but like all discourse on Twitter at this point or socials, like there'll be valid points sprinkled in there, but those valid points are lost in a bunch of other people just saying stuff to say it or just like over exaggerating. I want to see what the card looks like first. That's really where I land.
Yeah. It's just too early. We got time. When does the G1 end? Like, how could they get into this? I think is the thing. I'm like, is there still time where they could build this and it means something? Or are we gonna do a fucking 2-week build, a 1-week build? What's the thing?
The G1 finals are on August 17th.
Okay.
I believe that is because Forbidden Door is August
24.
So it's the week before.
That's not a great sign, but it is a sign. There still could be something. We still could tell some stories coming out of this. I'm with Phil. We have to see the full thing first before we pass judgment. Because if we get to a full card and there's no New Japan, then we gotta have some discourse. Yeah. But now I don't. There's not enough for me to be like, haha, this whole concept's dead.
Yeah, curious to see how Stardom's going to play a part in here. I would assume Stardom is going to play a bigger role in Forbidden Door this year. Mercedes was very funny, tweeting out, "Hey, who do you guys want me to wrestle?" And people gave her all of these suggestions, and she was responding to people. And then eventually she was like, "I'm sick of y'all. Never mind. Leave me alone."
Before she got into that, though, she sent some eye emojis to a bunch of people that I was like, "Oh yeah, I like the eye emojis, homegirl." It seems like she's going to be into something pretty interesting for Forbidden Door, or she's selling really good. Because I was like, "Oh, good." She sent eye emojis to the West Coast Pro Women's Champion Johnny Robbie. I'm like, it could be anything at this point. Come take everybody's belts.
Yeah, she was also going around commenting under people's championship wins and people holding their championship belts, and that was also very funny. So yeah, I think that Mercedes is going to have a match on that card. I'm curious to see who she's going to wrestle. It's going to be someone from Stardom. I did see her respond to May Saruka Christian. That is a match that could be good. Sheeta is also back in the States officially. She is. They figured out the visa situation, so we'll be curious to see when she shows up again, whether she will factor into Forbidden Door. But yeah, I don't know. I just think with the timing of it, with the G1 going on, I think people are just like doing a lot. I think it's more important to New Japan right now to figure out their situation and set up their new stars with the G1 and build their roster back up, then go, hey, let's also send some wrestlers over there to potentially lose. And like,
right.
It's a more complicated conversation that people want to have. And I think people are doing this whole, it's very disingenuous to just be like, well, it's just because New Japan sucks right now. It's like, no, but that's not entirely true though.
There's so many factors I think that go into it. Like like I was saying, like Forbidden Door started and where it is now, like just say like Takeshita, for example. Takeshita also works for New Japan and AEW. Like the positioning of wrestlers, the positioning of companies, we see so many crossovers throughout the year. Also, AEW just did a big one with CMLL. Like we just see so many collaborations that it doesn't it's not the same. I mean, that doesn't give any bail and take away from anything, but it just what it represents is way different than what it originally represented.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's completely changed the industry. I mean, the fact that WWE is now doing big partnership shows and TNA, it's more of a norm in wrestling than it was before.
Right. I mean, WWE essentially continuously do their own forbidden doors at this point.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's part of it. I think part of the appeal of Forbidden Door isn't as fresh and new because, you know, it's becoming a norm in the business, but also I think people can chill out a little bit too.
That's a feat. You know, people do not chill out. And even with the facts, they're still going to make their own assumptions.
No, Lyric was saying it, and I was thinking the same thing. A lot of people commenting on New Japan that don't watch New Japan. And there's somebody that watches New Japan that's kind of like, all right, guys, like, let's wrap this up.
Because a lot of the discourse surrounding it is just that discourse.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, send us your super chats. Let us know what you think so far of this Forbidden Door build. Send us your Humper Chats, humperchats.com/Fightful. Wrap this up. Probably hit our last topic and right off into the sunset.
Yes, sir. The homie Ben Sifner says, I think he would get massive cheers if he came back, but it's at his core, AEW fans care about wrestling. He could not continue with that same act, talking about Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. But I mean, again, I don't think anything's out of real possibility at this point.
I think Cody Rhodes is such a smart wrestler that he would figure it out. You know, like, and I think the fans have a place. AEW fans, even the ones that might talk shit, are always going to have a place for Cody, and he could expound on that. Appreciate that, Ben. The homie Tyrone Kid says, shout out to Jack the Jobber. Everyone's slowly leaving. Talking about Cultaholic.
Yeah, shout out to Jack the Jobber. I believe he announced on this week's edition of the Cultaholic podcast that he is leaving Cultaholic. It's crazy because a lot of these guys that, you know, I watched when they were on What Culture and then followed them to Cultaholic, and they were very inspirational to me when they first started doing their own thing. And I watched all of their content before I started doing any of this, before I started doing a podcast. So it's surreal being on a podcast and talking about wrestling weekly. And the guys that I watch, some of them are no longer doing this anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy where everything is moving. Companies are switching over, things are changing, and the podcast space is fucking oversaturated, bro. So seeing how things are changing it's been an interesting year, I think, for that type of thing.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Jack. What a great run, and like from What Culture to Cultaholic, he's been a part of a lot of great things. He was also a part of What Culture Pro Wrestling. There are things that are going to be a part of wrestling lore, like him getting chopped or him getting super kicked by Will Ospreay. Yeah, I'm sure he's made a ton of great memories, but I also can see, as somebody that's been doing this for a while, the fatigue at some point of like, hey man, this was fun, but I kind of want to do something else.
And it's constant, you guys, just all the time, never stop. So yeah, shout out to the homie Jack. Shout out to all the homies at Cultaholic. I don't know what's going on over there, but I hope it's chill.
It doesn't seem like it's a negative thing. I just think, you know, Cultaholic's been around. They started in what, 2016, 2017, something like that. So they've been around for close to 10 years at this point, almost. I think that you just hit a point where I think I've exhausted everything I want to do in this space, and I just want to try something else. They've been, especially him and like Sam and a lot of these guys that came from What Culture, they've been doing this for a long time.
Right.
And that's right. Redman's also saying that Jack's dad also recently passed away. He used to talk about his dad fairly often in the on the podcast, and so I could see him that also affecting him and feeling like, hey man, like life is short. Like, I kind of just want to see what else there is other than just talking about wrestling every week. And not to say that that's not fulfilling, but I just think as somebody that's old at this point, you do things for a few years and then you decide I want to do something else. I've done that. I've done like I said before, I've worked in finance. I've done other things, and sometimes you figure out like this isn't for me. Let me try something else. So best of luck to him, man. He's provided a ton of entertainment to people, both him and Bachidi. Best of luck to both of those guys and whatever they do next.
Yeah, sending love out to those brothers, man. I hope it's all good. Appreciate that, Tyrone. The homie Arduous says, happy Grapsody Day, y'all. Showing up late. Who do y'all think wins? Athena, Tony, and Okada Swerve?
I definitely think that at this point, here, wait a minute, man. Let's get this guy there. Sorry. Had to get the spammer out of our chat.
Mhm.
But I think at this point, we're heading to a rematch between Okada and Omega. So I don't see Okada losing. So I think Okada is going to retain. And just based on the fact that Athena is still ROH Women's Champion, and we still don't know what the end goal to this is going to be, I don't see her beating Tony either.
Yeah, Okada and Swerve. I think Okada is gonna do that thing. I'm with Phil. I think there's still a rematch in Okada and Omega. Athena, I want it so bad. I've never wanted anything more than her beating Toni Storm, but there's a bunch of things that tell me she's not going to beat Toni Storm. Like, I don't know if it's the time. I didn't think they were going to do the match so quickly, honestly. I think, Phil, this week when she was doing the promo and she's like, it's going to be at Forbidden Door. I was like, I thought she was going to hold that little contract for longer, and that tells me that she's probably not going to go over. So I think Toni Storm and Okada in both those matches.
Yeah, based off of the outcome to the tag match the other night when she pinned Toni, I was like, oh, they're getting right to it.
Mm-hmm. So the match is going to bang, though. Like, we still got that. And we never know. We could both be wrong, and Athena could go over. Like, that is a thing.
I've been enjoying having Athena on the main show, though. I thought that her match from Collision last week with Alex Windsor was very good. I was there for that match in person. Really, really great. Also have been really impressed with Alex Windsor. I watched her in Pro Wrestling Eve and some of the the indie promotions she wrestled for before AEW. And so I was already a fan, but like I feel like she has been a great addition to this women's division so far.
Fucking Hooper, dog. Just one of those get in there and bang. Everything's 1,000 when she does it. Like, she is super impressive, and I like her in the positions that she's been in recently. Appreciate that, Arduit. The homie Leonard Aarons III says, any tip for someone looking to start a podcast?
Well, like we were saying earlier, very crowded lane for wrestling podcasters at the moment, which is both a good and bad thing. I think that the great thing about it is there's so many different voices in the space now. It's not all of the same people. It isn't so many people that look exactly the same, regurgitating the same opinions. But I think you gotta find your niche. You gotta find your niche, what you enjoy talking about. As somebody that has no real interest in doing a review show, even though we end up reviewing things sometimes, don't feel like you have to cover everything. Because I think some people get stuck into that lane of, okay, I'm a podcaster, so I have to cover everything. Cover the things you enjoy, cover the things that you enjoy talking about, because listeners want to listen to other people that are passionate about the product and passionate about wrestling. They don't want to listen to people that seemingly are talking about these things because they have to.
Right. Yeah. I think Phil brought up a great thing here. Find your niche. You have to find your niche in this already niche space. If you look at the landscape of wrestling podcasts, if everybody's talking about something, why are they going to want to go to you for that same coverage? And that's how I always look at it. If everybody in the world's talking about Raw and SmackDown and AEW and all these things, why are they going to want to go to me if they could go to somebody like Bully Ray or somebody that's been in the business. What's your thing? What's going to separate you from everybody in this space, including people in the business? I think the thing that's worked for our podcast and the reason that we've been doing it so long is consistency. Like us having this same time slot for our entire schedule, and we always show up at that same time, and people know when and where to catch Grapsody has played such a valuable role for our podcast and the growth that it helps a lot. Consistency, knowing who you are, knowing your place in this, and not thinking you're going to get the world after 3 podcasts. There's a lot of things that you need to know about, Phil.
Yeah. Yeah. I also just wouldn't lean so heavily into like cynicism or negativity.
Important.
Because I don't think that a lot of listeners want to listen to people that just complain about any of these companies. It just gets old after a while. I know some people that enjoy negative content. They enjoy hearing people bash things, but it gets old after a while. And I just think you gotta change it up. Even if you do that sometimes, that shouldn't be your entire show.
Right. Yeah, if your thing is based off being a fucking grifter, it works for somebody for some time, but it's not going to be a consistent thing. People aren't going to go to you every single week for you to yell and scream and do all that shit.
It's a shelf life on it, and
yeah,
I mean,
shelf life.
It depends on what it is. I know some people enjoy the negative AEW stuff or like anti WWE stuff, but I just still think that at some point people are going to start tuning you out because it's always the same.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean be overly positive about everything and don't criticize anything. But I just, at least for my personal taste, I have no interest in listening to somebody being negative about the product all the time.
If you be real, if you're authentic, if you're not, another problem people have is just regurgitating the same things that other people saying or stealing from social media. And like, if you come with your own unique perspective and give some people reasons to tune in again, that's the way to do it. If you're just giving up the same stuff that I can read on social media, like, why would I? So there's just a bunch of things you have to think of. Think of why you like the podcast that you like. Think of why you like the people that do the podcast and do it your own way.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Leonard Aarons. Thank you always for the support, homie. And then the homie Mod Revolve says, next time we see Jericho is going to be at the Rumble.
Break the walls down.
He's not ending his career fully before he goes back to WWE. I don't believe that at all. Like, I don't know.
Show up in AEW again before he goes.
Yeah, definitely. I think that he could be in some contract talk. Like, I could see him signing with the AEW again for a year or two or something, but he's gonna retire Hall of Fame WWE guy for sure.
He will definitely be getting a Hall of Fame induction. I don't see a world where he doesn't.
That'd be the craziest word of all time if he did it. Like, I think him and Triple H aren't on the greatest terms, but I still feel like as we've seen, nothing is anything.
Yeah, you think he's gonna not ever go to WWE again? Nah, I don't see that happening. He'll be over there.
I do not see that, bro. He's on the first train smoking. That is all of our super chats. I appreciate all y'all. Y'all are dope.
Yeah, see, Red Man, Jericho says a lot. Another guy was talking a lot too, and he's right back over there. So it doesn't matter.
There's no lines here. What does it matter? Like, that guy's about to win a world championship tonight. Like, he's about to win their world championship on their big show. Nothing's anything.
Christian Ramos is saying, why is it people getting into shape when leaving AEW? What the fuck? I assume you're talking about this Mark Quinn picture that surfaced from his IG where this guy is yoked up. I don't know what this guy has been doing since he lost those tag team titles, but this guy is massive now. And I believe him and Isaiah posted a picture together from their account. And both of these guys have been in the gym.
That's it. They've
drinking protein shakes. They've been eating their broiled chicken. They've been
Yo, I was that Mark Quinn pic. I thought it was fake. The first one that he just posted of him, and I was like, "Yo, this guy got on a fake bodysuit." But then when I saw him and Isaiah, I was like, "Oh no, this is real. These guys are just only been in the gym eating protein and lifting weights for the last fucking 6 months at this point."
I would love it if this is all a swerve and this is setting up to them challenging Hurt Syndicate. And this has just been like the second they lost, they got upset, and then they sat next to each other and they're like, "What do we do? Get really big." And then they did like the 80s montage. And they're like running,
pumping iron,
just like doing the Rocky montage of them getting in shape. Awesome fighter, like lifting logs in Russia.
Desire. Somebody's chasing him with the car. I mean, this is a good bit though. If like they got their asses demolished by Hurt Syndicate, they're like, "How can we beat them? Let's try to get as big as them." And they're just in the gym, man. I'm not mad at it.
I hope that's where this is going, because I think that would be really funny. And man, if that's the way they're going, AEW airing like their whole montage is them getting and everything leading up to this would be really great. And with the lore of this company, the match should happen in Full Gear, because that was all about Page getting in shape so he can look good in Full Gear, and these guys getting in shape to get their rematch in Full Gear. That would be great.
Look good in Full Gear would be an amazing bit. I like that itself, but I don't know. The fact that they haven't been mentioned on TV, they haven't said a word. I think this is more like I just broke up with my girl and I need to look good for my next girl.
Dang, that's not nearly as funny.
Yeah. It's not as funny at all.
It's not as funny, man. I do think them getting in shape and going over there, we've seen that before. I mean, even historically, Punk, he got bigger when he left ROH and went to WWE initially, and then he eventually slimmed down into a more comfortable weight. And so I think it's just the idea that AEW is where small guys can go and succeed, and WWE has always had this idea around it that's where the land of the giants. You gotta be a big guy over there. You can't avoid the grind. You got to be over there grinding it out and putting on weight. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is the sign they're going over there. I don't know.
I don't know anything at this point. They could just be wanting to get buffed just cause, but hope everything's okay, because there were some injury reasons I think they were out too. I hope that they're good. I hope that their bodies are okay. I hope that their minds are good, and I hope that they have a job somewhere, because I fucking love Private Party.
Yeah. Bro, they come back out doing the flex dance too.
Now it's really going to hit, bro. Flex dance is totally different in this point.
Yeah, I just randomly thought about Shivani doing it, and like whatever Shivani was doing, hilarious.
Oh man, yeah, but trying to get paid, I think, is what it's leading to.
Yeah. Hopefully everything is well with them, man.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough being a pro wrestler.
Yeah. That all of our super chats?
That is every one of our super chats for now. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, AEW wrapped up its residency in Chicago on Thursday night. I ended up going to, I believe, like 3 out of the 6 shows. I went to Collision last week. Collision was a lot of fun. Got to see some great wrestling. I went to Dynamite this week as well. Got to see a very good world title match. Moxley versus Hangman was incredible in person. Hangman still feels like the guy. This did what it was supposed to do for him. He beat Moxley once and for all. Darby played a part into keeping the rest of the Death Riders out of the match. Very funny still that Darby jumped off that balcony. And the second I walked into the Arrogant Ballroom the first night that they were there, I was like, somebody's jumping off one of these balconies. And I was like, Darby's back. Yeah, It's probably going to be Darby. And so I should have saw this coming, and did not think that in saying that Darby would end up jumping right behind me off of a balcony. That was really cool. Just being there for that match. I think all of the Mark Briscoe stuff was also really good. Like I said earlier, he cut a really great promo.
Fantastic.
On Max. I was wondering where we were going, not ending the show with a world title match. That was an interesting choice.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw a lot of other people pointing out the great thing about the Mox Punk match that they did in the middle of the show on Dynamite and the build before to All Out is that it got people to believe that anything's possible now, that Mox could have won that match. And I think that helped the match a lot.
Yeah, I think because it was interesting them immediately booking the rematch and thinking, how do you do a regular match coming off of that fucking crazy ass Texas death match? There's a bed of nails, there's barbed wire, there's glass, there's all these things. How do you just do a regular match coming out of that? So coming into the show this week, it was like, they're going to have a feat here because of all that plunder. But I thought that these guys did great. This showed how great of a fucking worker Jon Moxley is and how he's such a great storyteller and getting people to believe something that they didn't go into the match believing. Him utilizing the pile drivers, I think, was awesome in that, hitting different variations in different positions. I think was great. Played a great heel to Hangman's kind of heroic, I'm the hottest guy here, there's nothing you could do to fucking beat me here.
Yeah, the way that he used the pile drivers and tried to get away with as much as possible, using the pile driver on the stairs and on the apron and trying to hit one on the announce table. All of these ways he can get around the rules without actually cheating, but using the environment as a way to help him. I thought that was very smart. His entrance was fire. I didn't get a chance to see it the way you guys saw it on TV until later, but like him coming down those stairs again, Mox is still Mox. I'm a Mox fan. That guy still has aura. He still's got this swag to him. Jon Moxley for me is just like one of the best AEW wrestlers of all time. I just couldn't imagine what this company would be without Jon Moxley.
Thinking about the history and being at that first Double or Nothing where he came out, like I can't, like plucking him out of that and thinking of this whole thing running without Moxley being there the whole time, almost impossible. He's played such an important character, important role, important world champion that it's crazy. That's why everybody being like, he needs to take a break. He needs to do all this. I'm like, why? He's doing great. Like he's doing great work. He still has a story to tell with Darby, as we've seen this week. He still has so much to do here. There's still a lot of Death Rider story, I think, that needs to be told. On the opposite end, Hangman's fucking tremendous as world champion. The aura that he's walking with, the way that he has the fans behind him, the confidence that he's working these matches of like, Moxley could have brought a fucking bomb to that match, and there was nothing he was going to do to beat Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah. Hangman still feels like the main character, even after the build to him winning. And I think that's great. I still think like doing repetitive things always works in wrestling. Having him open and close the shows, that's just the way to go, bro. It just goes further to make him feel like the main character of the show and the guy that we should be paying attention to. And that's why I was saying, like, I was curious what we're going to do. Like, how are we going to do this? Like, not ending the show with the world title match, but still having him close the show with Mark Briscoe and still having him a part of the storyline with Max. It worked very, very well. But yeah, man, Jon Moxley, man, that guy, absolute lunatic, very unintentionally funny. When they're doing the forearm exchange and Hangman gets up and forearms in the face, and then he just like starts hulking up and walking around the ring and like like pulling the ropes and stuff, and then comes back into the forearm exchange. What a guy.
I love when he gets to that point. He like straddles the he's such a heel, but he does, that's like a babyface move right there of like, come on, motherfucker, I need more from you. Of like, that was kind of his whole mission objective with this whole thing of like, no, I just want these guys that are talking all this shit to show some fire, to show that they're the world champion, to show that when it comes down to it, they could fucking fight. And that's what the story of this was, is like, Hangman, I've been telling you, you're not ready to be the world champion. That you don't even want to really be the world champion. So I'm going to need you to show me in this ring how to do it. And a lot of that was in that. I think Moxley, again, played a tremendous trying to foil what Hangman Adam Page was bringing to this. But also, I do love that Moxley's talked all this shit, but as soon as he sees Darby Allin, he turns into pussy. Like, he's immediately like, oh, what? Darby's here? Where is he? Why is he over there? Like, I just love that immediate switch of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, all of a sudden he's just like, he turns into like Scooby-Doo character. Goes.
Right. He's all like off his game. He can't talk and shit. His eyes are all big.
I love it, man. Man, yeah, but he did multiple things Wednesday that I thought were really funny, just unintentionally funny stuff, man. Like after he put him through the pile driver on the apron, and then he rolled back in the ring, and he's like walking around flexing, like, "What? Y'all thought this was it? Y'all need to go get back in here."
Tremendous work. Moxley needs to continue to be put in these positions, and the stuff that he's doing with Darby, I think is great. The stuff they did on Collision was amazing.
With the red line flying past, and they're like out on this scaffold, like, bro, what's going on?
Darby tried to first, he fucking put the rag over his face and it got him there, and then he tried to dump him off of the top of a building and all this shit. It's just, that's the kind of energy we need from Darby, because they took you out. They didn't try to take you out. They took you out. And for you to be like, I'm going to dismantle the fucking Death Rider, starting with Jon Moxley. Great story. Darby just being that, not saying much, just showing up to terrorize this group. It's great.
Yeah. I thought the opening tag match was also really good. The Young Bucks versus the Outrunners for the tournament. And I thought halfway through this match, with the way that the match was going, the Bucks were getting a lot of heat, and no matter what these guys threw at them, Outrunners kept coming back. I thought the Outrunners were going to win, but Young Bucks picked up the win here. The Chicago crowd was fantastic throughout this match, booing these guys, giving it to them at every turn. At one point, somebody behind me yelled "loose squares" at Outrunners, and I was dead.
Yeah, they brought back the Newport gear, which I thought was tremendous. It's still, a little bit of controversy attached to them wearing them, but I love it. I love to see it. Yeah, the Young Bucks, like we were talking about earlier, are so good at doing that. There was a couple of those false finishes that I bid on of the Outrunners could really fucking do this, because they got them to that position. I'm just loving this run of the Young Bucks and being a classic tag team, doing all the things that's gotten us to know and love them. And the Outrunners almost doing it, I think, would have been it. The story was even enhanced because FTR is on the other side, and they've been building to this. Outrunners could have potentially got back in there with FTR, but Young Bucks winning, I think, in Chicago, them coming out with the team name and the social media and all this, and getting the job entrance, thought it was amazing.
Yeah, I thought it worked very well. The whole bum ass Bucks thing is working for me so far.
It is.
Having Okada come out at the end, and that led to another confrontation with Swerve, which this guy does it every time. We've seen him do one of these big Swerve stomp spots on a crowd, and every time it hits, every time he's done it, it hit. He did it in the build to him winning the world championship at Dynasty last year.
Hard.
He did it again this year. That was at the end of Revolution, right?
Yep.
And it hit then and again, hit again, and this guy did his stare to the camera, made another meme for people to run with.
How's he keep doing this, Phil?
Bro, this guy just keeps saying they got something special in this guy.
They got something.
The fact that he keeps doing these things, and I've been in multiple AEW crowds this year, and when he comes out, man, the reaction to him is just. It's crazy. People love this guy.
Dog, that they did a promo on Collision, him and Prince Nana, and it's a backstage promo they shot. It wasn't a live promo, but the whole time the crowd is chanting. You could hear him in the background being like, "Whose house? Swerve's house." I'm like, nah, this guy.
Yeah.
There's something different over here.
Telling you, man.
The way that the crowd relates to him and the way that they latch on to him is different.
Bro. I feel like ever since last year, I've been going to shows, and like when I get near the arena, I can already hear people chanting "Whose house? Spurs house." Walking out of the arena, people are still chanting it. Yeah, he's out here.
Outside the arena, inside before the show start, like I was saying, there's no more yes and woos. There's fucking whose house, Swerve's house. It's different. That's, you guys don't understand. In wrestling, that means a lot. That little, the pre-show, whatever is happening, like them telling you who they want to see in the show, it's a lot. And every AEW show that I've been to this year and like half of last year, they all start like that.
Yes. I thought the women's tag match was also really good. Like I said, having Athena on regular TV, just like, man, this needs to be a regular thing. Just wrap up whatever we're doing on Ring of Honor, get her on AEW proper, because it's just time. It's just time. She has been just such a great addition to the women's division. I thought Tony was fantastic again. Tony is hilarious as well. Her coming out with Alex Windsor, and they did like their dance. Her coming out on Collision as well, after the Ring of Honor women's title match, and helping Alex Windsor. And she got that promo where, yeah, this is just my non-sexual friend Alex Windsor. All really, really funny. You could tell that they probably had to pivot from Mina, because Mina had the injury, and so they had to fill in the spot with Alex. And I thought Alex has done a great job so far filling in the spot. And Tony has also pivoted very well and creating a completely different dynamic with Alex that's also very funny.
That's what's so great about Tony Storm is like, it seems like this was the story the whole time. And I don't, like you're saying, I don't think it was. Like, I think Mina would have been in there as her partner for a lot of this. But Alex Windsor has been slotted in there so easily and feel like she fit in there. And a lot of it is to what Tony has been doing. Alex Windsor has been fucking tremendous too, like we were saying earlier. Like, she works like a fucking women's wrestler that's ready to tear everybody's heads off. She goes 1,000 miles per hour. She shows a lot of charisma and confidence in all of her matches. I thought she was great in this, very hard hitting, being in those positions to play against what Tony does in her comedy, but also adding a little bit of her comedy in there. Great stuff. Athena on the main roster, bringing that confidence that she's had in Ring of Honor and bringing all that over to the main roster, I think has been great. She's been great in every position that she's been. The promos have been awesome. Her going 1,000 miles also in this tag match. This tag match was just fun, just because all these women are awesome and they go for it every time. I thought this did a lot to accomplish Athena being a threat to Tony Storm. That is one thing I do want to, we talked about on the watch along, is we want Tony to convey that urgency and convey that Athena really is a big deal and really could be the one to defeat me. I think it's definitely coming, especially with the challenge being issued and accepted for them having the Forbidden Door match. I think this little thing has done a lot for everybody.
Yes. You can tell, and this is part of why I don't think Athena's going to win. They're still putting Megan Bain on this platform where she's someone to be feared. Even when people were making the suggestions to Mercedes and she was responding, and somebody suggested Megan, Mercedes was like, maybe later. Like, they're still making her out to be like this woman to be feared. And I do think that's going to play into something later this year. I would not be surprised if she's the one that beats Tony.
Yeah, I could see it, because even when they did the thing on Collision and she came out as part of that, they like stopped the whole thing to watch her do an entrance. Like, her stuff all is different. She's presented as a big deal in the division.
Right. But yeah, I really like the finish of the tag match. The sneaky tag from Athena and then getting the O-face in while Tony was distracted and getting the big win. People were stunned in the ring. They were like, whoa, Athena won. And Athena played it absolutely as you would expect, ran around and celebrated. Like, what y'all think? Like, y'all thought she was going to win? And I think the build so far for this match has been really good since All In. I think it's smart to capitalize on it. You don't need to drag this out and have her hold that contract for too long, because you're going to run into the same problem you had with Christian in the contract. So just like go ahead and capitalize on it now. You have a moment with Athena, do the big match on a big stage like O2.
Yeah, I was curious as to how they're going to book her holding that contract in conjunction with how they're going to book Max and the finish out of his contract. Because I think a lot of the lingo around Max's way of holding that contract, because they've been kind of on this, you could cash in, but we also don't want you to cash in. Hangman keeps telling the story of, are you going to cash in, or are you going to actually earn this spot? So they keep doing these kind of completely different things. I think Athena immediately doing that, immediately getting the match and possibly going to lose it, is going to actually work a lot for her and what she's going to do moving forward on this roster. I think this is the really introduce her into what this is, and we should be moving forward pretty well with it.
Yes. The stuff later in the night, I had to really sit back and think and go, man, the Max and Hangman feud that we got after they had to pivot out of the Jarrett stuff really saved this year for both of these guys, because Max has been so much better on TV since that feud. And I think he's been more focused. I think that his character makes more sense. He's still saying the same thing of like, why do y'all think this guy is a good guy? Y'all think this guy is the main character, but when I do bad things, you guys all boo me. You think it's heroic to stab somebody with a fork? Like, what are we on? Like, and so I love that he's been keeping that same energy. All this stuff with him and Mark and him ripping off his shirt, and he has on the Max did nothing wrong shirt. All very funny stuff, man. And to my point before, I keep saying this guy is Isaiah Thomas. Came out in Chicago with that shirt on. I did the wind horse. Why did he do that? All very well executed. And like I said, this could have ended badly for them making the decision to have the world title match in the middle of the show. But I think giving Ricochet and Mark the main event, and then having the rest of the storyline with Max and Hangman play out to end the show, I thought that made sense, because that left a lasting impression at the end of the show. Was this is still the storyline to follow for the next few weeks. These two guys, like, of course, Mark Briscoe's in the mix, and he cut a great promo, but the storyline to follow for the remainder of this year is Max and Hangman.
Yeah, first of all, loving everything that Max is in right now. I love how he's in, at minimum, 3 stories, but now that I think about it, he's in like almost 5 stories. He's in the Hurt Syndicate thing. He's with Mark Briscoe, Hangman. He's still in tune with Mystico in Mexico and a couple of other guys in Mexico. So I think that has been a great benefit for Max. A part of the reason that people were cold on him or not thinking he is the guy is because he wasn't in the mix like this. If you just have him in one thing, don't let him talk, you don't let him do all this stuff, you don't get the real benefit of Max. And having 5 or 6 people that want to kick his ass while he's trying to win the world championship, I think is the way to really get something out of him. I love Hangman being the one that really gets him annoyed. Like, because most of the time Max moves through like, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to do this, I'm this guy, I'm going to be world champion one day, and anybody can say anything to me. Anything that Hangman says sends him into a fucking frenzy. Like, if Hangman's like, you ain't shit, you're faking, like, he is stuck on that. Like, if Hangman of all people saying it, that really fucking grinds his gears. And I think a big reason why he's wrestling, and he said it in a promo, big reason why he's wrestling Mark Briscoe is because Hangman said, you got to beat Mark Briscoe if you want to be in with this. So Hangman just being the one that fucking keeps nipping at his heels, keep getting him to get off of his game by wrestling matches, I think it's a great story to tell. And I was thinking about it the other day, thinking about this topic of like Hangman continuously being that guy, because that's pretty much a big reason that him and Swerve are into this, of like, for some reason when he says this, it changes the meaning, and that really fucks guys up. So if to be happening again with Max, of like Max thinks he's this person, but then Hangman says something and he becomes a completely different person. I think it's a great story to tell. Max has been tremendous in all the angles. The stuff with the Hurt Syndicate is still a bit confusing. I'm still trying to catch up because this week there was a segment where Max was outside the door. Shelton comes out and he's like, we knew you've been faking ever since you gave me this watch. Like, we've been kind of plotting on you this whole time that you've been in the Hurt Syndicate. But the vibes and stuff haven't felt like that for a lot of the segments that they had coming into the show. So I'm still trying to totally catch up on what they're doing with the Hurt Syndicate stuff, just because I felt like it's a little bit abrupt. It's happening so quickly.
Yeah, there was discourse on that stuff, but MJF still having this axe to grind with Hangman and feeling like, why do people love this guy? I am better than him. I've already accomplished more than him. And it's just like, just my thinking, and that Max is one of the greatest AEW world champions. And if I said that on Twitter, that's a hot take to some people. People act like that's not true. And I think from his point of view, it's like, why do y'all love this guy so much? I had a better AEW world title reign than him. I've had better matches than him. I've had better feuds with him. You name all of the biggest stars in this company. I've had matches with most of them. And I gave some of them their best matches. But y'all love this guy? Get this guy out of here. And so I think it's more so every time he says something, it's like, why do you? And Hangman keeps calling him out on things, and he doesn't have like a response to it, and he's just like, man, I'm sick of this dude. And so I can see his whole point of view, thinking like, bro, I went into All In Texas and I won a shot at the AEW World Championship, and nobody is talking about my win. They're talking about this guy again. Get this guy out of here.
Yeah, every time he has a big moment, Hangman's right there to have a bigger moment and be talked about in there. Like, even when he was world champion, I'm thinking about back to that Full Gear. We all hated Max's shit with Jay White on top, and we loved Hangman and Swerve. Like, we came out of that show being like, Hangman and Swerve, Hangman and Swerve. Every time Max has had a big moment, Hangman's right there to have a bigger moment, and that's getting stressful. And also, to Max's point, everybody praises the heel shit that Hangman did. Like, they can't stop bringing up him burning down his house. They can't stop bringing up him doing all these horrible things, and every little thing that Max does, he gets crucified for.
Yeah, because in Max's mind, I'm justified in things I'm doing. So why is it okay when he does things? He's done way worse things than I have, and you guys are okay with him? He did nothing wrong. So yeah, I think he has like this Frank Grimes thing going on. Like, y'all love this guy? Like, get this guy out of here. So, and I also love that. I don't know if this was the intent or not, but I love that it is partially what drove a wedge between him and the Hurt Syndicate, because he wanted to rush to the match and he wanted to rush and do something about Hangman. And he's like, yeah, you guys got to help me. And they're like, we don't work for you. Like, all of this stuff, like, he was just like cool with being a part of the mix. But ever since he won that contract and Hangman won the title, the sense of urgency for him has changed, because he hates this guy. And so, and I think that that's part of what is ruffling the Hurt Syndicate's like, now who are you to come in here barking orders at us? Like, and I'm still not quite sure if I believe that they're fully out on Max. I could see this turning into a swerve of some kind, because just the way things are being played so far. I thought the segment with Shelton was very good. I thought Shelton was phenomenal in that. There were people at one point saying this guy can't talk and that this guy is not a good character, and completely wrong about that. Completely. But I thought his reasoning was great of like, yeah, I took the watch. I knew it was fake, but I only did that because MVP vouched for you and I trust MVP. I never trusted you. And so now that Bobby's out on you and MVP is disgusted with you, we don't have to keep up the charade anymore. You're done. And so you've had people one by one do the thumbs down, and I think we're starting to lead to MVP doing the thumbs up or thumbs down, or yay or nay. I would not be surprised if these guys at some point help Max beat Hangman down to set up the title match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was kind of getting that too. I think Denise might have convinced me of that. That he could also, this could also be a big swerve, and they're they help Max, and this be all a big ruse. I'm like, yeah, I could totally see that too, because MVP's energy around the whole thing and the way that he initially got Max into this, it also would play a big role if they're behind the scenes, plotting.
Yes. I don't think it's as simple as people think, but this led to some discourse online of people again making Hurt Syndicate out to, oh, they don't want to work with anybody. They're so difficult to work with, and they don't want to put anybody over. And that's why this is already over, because people are assuming something happened behind the scenes where they don't want to give Max the win. But there is no match yet. So I don't know why people jump to that conclusion. Like, I don't know. Maybe there was a creative disagreement on something so far, but we don't know that yet. So.
We would know. Yeah. It seems like too early to know, because it wasn't like this is we were aware that this was leading to something. We don't even know what this was leading to.
Yes. But I think it plays well into the story that he's doing all of this and, trying to go head to head with Hangman, and he has no backup. The story is different if he has Hurt Syndicate behind him.
It is.
And so he's now panicking because his plan fell apart on him. And now he's, reacting accordingly.
This makes a lot of sense, because Hangman doesn't move through with as much confidence if Bobby Lashley and Shelton are fucking looming over his back. If he feels like Max has nobody, he could continue talking this shit.
Yeah, I mean, just think about that segment in the locker room after he won the title match, and he's like, "Man, do something! Like, you keep talking. I'm in here. You're in here. Do something." That's different if he's saying do something. You got these 3 massive men standing behind him.
You're not gonna say do something in that position. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I see it. That makes sense.
So yeah, I don't think we're done with Max Hurt Syndicate stuff. I think there will be more later on. So far, I'm intrigued with where this is going.
Me too.
I thought that the Max segment was good. I thought the segment last week was good when they turned on him. So we'll see. We'll see where this is going.
Yeah, this has been awesome. I think Mark Briscoe continuously getting these TV main events is great, and getting a big match, no matter what, a match with Max is big. So getting a big main event with him next week, I think is great too.
Yeah, just great promo. That line of, I for the first time did not think I would see my brother again, because if I get my hands on Max, I am not going to heaven.
Yes.
Really, really great.
Tremendous work. Mark Briscoe, I think, has always quietly been a good promo. Jay was such a tremendous promo and would carry a lot of the promos that you forget how good Mark is. And he's gotten to show again that he is, and he deserves to be in these main events, and he deserves to be in these positions.
Yes. Yeah, I think all across the board, I thought the residency was a lot of fun. As somebody that got to go to a good amount of the shows, I probably would have ended up going to 4 shows if I was feeling better the week before. But that was my first time going to Collision in a long time. And it was fun. I just think that Collision still has to find its identity. It's still, it's a good show. I think that this week's Collision was even better than last week's. I just think that when the show is good, it's when it has what Dynamite has, an overarching storyline. And so I think building to possibly the blood and guts match on Collision helped it, but it needs to consistently have that. It needs storylines that are unique to Collision or extensions from something from Dynamite. If it's just matches, like, it's going to be inconsequential TV.
And that's what people feel like, because it's more good shows than bad shows. Like, you can pick out the bad Collisions in one hand, but getting people to confidently rely on it. The time slot consistent change doesn't help. I know that's probably out of their hands.
It's Saturday. Saturday is just such a tough time slot.
You're never going to get people to care about Saturday for real. And so I still think there's things they could get to enhance ramp Collision a little bit, but I think they do a good job pretty consistently.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, there is usually good matches on Collision. I just think a lot of times when it feels like inessential television, it's because it's just matches. And It just needs that connective tissue that Dynamite has had recently.
Right. Yeah, that's a Collision's the time where I've realized, oh, just matches isn't always the best. And I love just matches. I'm like, but you need a little something more.
I mean, I think the thing is just matches is good, but when we have so much wrestling through the week and then you get to Saturday and it's like, oh, wrestling's on again, and then there's so many other options, it's hard to commit to, okay, well, I'm gonna watch Collision because it's just so much going on. And then there's usually more wrestling on Saturday, and that's part of why they have to keep moving the time slot, is because Saturday's just a tough time slot. We're getting pay-per-views on Saturday sometimes, and it's just a lot going on. You might have like some stuff going on, you might not be in the house, you might be trying to go out and other things, and so it's tough to be like, oh, let me stay in to watch Collision if like somebody's like trying to get me to go out to dinner with them.
Or there's fucking live wrestling going on, and there's so much. The weekend is difficult.
It's tough. It's a tough time slot, but yeah, I hope that they do more shows at Aragon again. I would love to see them do another residency. Despite some of Discourse that has been a theme throughout this episode, Discourse. I think that it was fun. I think people making it out to be, oh, they're just in small arenas and this doesn't look good business wise. I think it looked good on TV. I think that it was fun to be a part of the live experience of it.
Sounded good too. Chicago was hot for all 6 shows.
Yeah, and so I think that helps AEW. You have to do things that are unique to your product. And if you're not, then what's the point?
This is the only way. I know that they have another one coming up at the end of this month at the world famous ECW Now 2300 Arena. So they got to consistently do these, look unique in the presentation and look different. And that's the way to continue to succeed. I think this was a overall success. It looked great. It sounded great. They had they told some great stories. They finished it off with the world title match. I think like this is the way you would want a residency to go.
Yeah, and I think the great thing about a residency, because you're in front of the same crowd multiple times, you can have like a small story arc that pays off in that. And so going back to the feud with Mox in the residency and giving the Chicago crowd like kind of like an epilogue to that, that makes sense. And I think that that's the way you should do residencies.
Right. It's almost like studio wrestling. Like you can book like these people are here. They're going to know what the stories we're telling, and we need to reward them for sticking along for the ride.
Exactly. Yeah, like a self-contained thing for those 6 episodes or those 6 shows. And, they know what they're doing. I get it.
Yeah. Show's tight. Well, I would like one in California, even though I know we'd be wilding sometimes, but I think we could do all right with it.
What venue are you doing in California if you do it?
See, that's the issue. You're already fucking everything up. I don't know. Like, is it going to be Bay Area? Is it going to be SoCal? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought the payoff to most of this stuff has been great. The getting the payoff to the Dustin stuff in Chicago was good as well. I did think that the match was very good.
5-star match.
5-star match. I've seen people say, this is the bar, Cody. You got to live up to this now. Your brother set the bar.
Discourse is so funny, Phil, because everybody this week was like, there it is, Discourse. Everybody just looks like Dustin's having such a way better year than Cody is. And I'm like, you guys, can we please relax?
Come on. Yeah, but man, a lot to be excited for. I watched a lot of wrestling this week. If you could tell by me watching the G1 and a bunch of other stuff. There's been a lot of good wrestling. If you don't pay attention to a lot of this stuff people are arguing about online, it's a lot more enjoyable.
That's a fact. If you can get away from the one more time Discourse and just enjoy the shit that you like, it's great. Like when I watch a show and I don't know why people are mad, those shows are fun. And you go online and you're like, damn, people were mad at that. It wasn't even that bad. What do you mean?
People were a little bit confused by me saying that concerto was bad. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't see the angle I saw. That's why.
That video that you sent to us, I was like, oh my God. Because on TV they made it look all right. Phil, like it all right. It still looked pretty bad on TV, but you see that other angle and you're like, oh, they weren't even in the same league.
It was so funny because I said, "Oh, that was terrible," and people were like, "No, the angle was just terrible," and I was like, "No, it was bad."
The angle was terrible when you really got to it. Like shit. I'm like, did they work or suicide? Oh, like I know, trying to like the opposite is they clobber him and smash his head together. But I mean, it has to be some kind of middle ground.
It still needs to look believable. I get it. Like you don't want to do unprotected chair shots in 2025, but it still needs to look believable.
Right. Like don't give him a concussion, but give him this is something that works.
Yes. Yeah, it was that, and it was something else I saw at the show, and people were like, "But what?" I'm like, guys, let's relax. Let's relax.
Please relax. We got another super chat from the homie Deontay Soigné. Says excited for SummerSlam and G1 tonight. MJF can go to hell fast. At first I was like, what the fuck is SS?
Yeah, SummerSlam. Yeah, 2 nights. 2 nights spectacular.
Is it starting early? Is it like one of those 3 o'clock shows, or is it a regular clock?
It's a 7
o'clock show. Or is it a regular clock show?
Regular clock show. It's a 7, I believe.
Appreciate that, Deontay. Yeah, there's like Phil was saying, a shit ton of wrestling on tonight. GCW, I think, has shows too. Like it's one of those busy ass Saturdays this week.
Yeah. That all of our super chats?
That's every one of them.
Refresh the screen. That's all of our Humper chats, I believe. Yeah, that's all of our Humper chats. Appreciate you guys as usual. Enjoy one of these last Saturdays of summer, because buddy, this thing is over. It's August. It's getting ready to get into pumpkin spice season for people. So it's that time. It's about to get cold again. Enjoy your last Saturday. Enjoy some wrestling. But we appreciate you spending part of your Saturday with us. This has been Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. It's Righteous Reg. We are out of here.